to fake political news where we kill Maglin.
This just in. Wizard definitely has betrayed us. We just don't know it yet, and we can find out after we kill him using Speak with Dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, did you betray us? No, not yet.
Well,
Train us after death.
That's the only thing that Kid Hours has got going.
that in and of itself would be a betrayal. Because he said he was going to betray us, or somebody said that he was.
I'm going
And if you
to
say that you're going to betray
you.
somebody, it's not betrayal.
No, not in this campaign.
So because the gods told us that he's going to betray us, he's not betraying.
Yeah, but
he's just
he
doing-
didn't tell
doing-
us. He has to tell us for it not to be betrayal.
Have
If
you ever-
somebody else tells on you, it's still betrayal.
Have you ever thought that if the gods have ordained that he's going to betray us, it's actually just the gods decide he's going to betray us, you know?
So
He's
you're
just-
saying that we should kill the gods.
Yes.
All right. I need to level once.
I would like 2 more levels, please.
Cool. Well, welcome. Timur, it's all yours at any point.
Oh, are we ready? Because
Probably not.
I heard Israel and then I don't know what else. I don't know.
We
I
have
kind of
said so
stopped
many
listening
things
for a
this
while.
evening.
All right, so welcome back, everybody. This is Lions and Crows. It could be the last episode. It's certainly winding toward some sort of story arc ending. So let's find out what happens with the crowd. Last we left off, the party went through another devastating, draining, highly
Oof.
concerning battle there in the depths of hell, in the tomb, in the sealed tomb of the vampire known as Asteris Ambar. And upon just defeating him, the party has found the most precious of all things, the milestone for completing the very, very, very long dungeon. We spent a lot of sessions just doing combat there to really hammer home, maybe a little much, the lengthy and it's just a lot of work to be put in to try to fix this problem. And they've done it. They've fixed it. They've destroyed the evil vampire and all of the vampire and undead bound to that area have seemingly lost their undead tie to this place. They've fallen apart with the intangibles disappearing and the corpses, the vampires just dropping to the floor and rotting away at a pace that is just turns them to dust. And so the party picks up, knowing that Maglin will betray them according to certain people and the gods. And the party picks up right now. I guess I can move you guys back to that map. I don't know why I moved you away from it.
Liz, no.
But great. So we'll just throw you guys back there if you'd like.
Cool, another wave of wraiths and specters. Oh wait, we have the orb. We should get something from the orb. Let's just take Maglin's spellbook.
I don't know if we can.
Oh,
actually
yes.
walk across
Let's do
the-
that. I want to take his spell book. Also his
This is
dignity.
the same situation we had before with
Also,
Elvira.
his dignity.
So that's
Yes.
pants.
I'd like to reach out, grab his pantaloons.
And remove them from him.
Right.
You could always use more pants.
Pantaloons.
Or less if you're Maglin.
So, what would the party like to start off today? Oh, well, before I jump in, hold on. I missed this whole very important updated document. It's live time. Here we go. Monday campaigns, last page, 7:30. Advertise socials. That's its own bullet. Shouldn't be. Twitter for updates on new content for Roll It Slant. Twitter. YouTube. Previous episodes. RollItSlant.com. Backgrounds. Character art. Kayla. Kevin Cloud. Music. Roll20. VTT.
Thanks, Kev.
Roll20. Spotlight. Program. They're not. There's just one thing. Custom character art. Again, Kayla. I don't know why we mentioned it twice. We just really
Because we really like Kayla.
So,
Oh.
well, yeah.
Dora does.
I really like you.
Well, there you go. There you go. Speak for yourself. I like it.
All I need.
No worries. That's the announcement. Boom. We're back into the game. Haha.
Wow,
We got our bag of holding too, right?
we did.
You did get your bag of holding, and assuming it was accounted for in the group loot thing, you're able to
The group loop?
the group loot
Loop.
thing.
Hello.
Group loops.
Loop.
It's character shaped little cornstarch sugary
Mhm.
group loops.
The group loop.
We have a lot of money.
Really
Can I
good.
check it for my axes?
You can check it for your axis.
Got the x-axis, the
Um,
y-axis,
My original
what happened-
axis,
the
my-
z-axis.
other axis that I don't remember exactly what it is, and if I look at my character sheet, I can tell you, but I'm not looking at it right now. It's my silvered one.
Uh-huh.
I want to make sure they're in there.
Anything that's on the list here in the journal is in there. So let's take a look.
Okay.
So that means it's all there, Holly.
Awesome.
What happened to
Predictability, the milkman, the paperboy, even TV. I guess they're all familiar friends with waiting just around the bend. Sorry.
It's okay.
Before your
I
time.
wish I got that joke.
Oh, what? Okay, sorry. Oh my
Sorry.
god.
I'm asking. I'm wondering what Asteris and Barra's body is, what the state of it is right now, other than dead.
It is destroyed to
Kentucky.
the point where it has reduced itself to ash, having a very advanced kind of decay effect upon it, as it just literally just.
Okay. And I think cadavers looted the body. Is that correct? Did you find
There
anything
was-
interesting?
No.
Nothing.
Not a thing.
Actually, did we get a list of what was found?
Probably not, because I probably said I would, and I did not.
Oh yeah, that's
That
true.
happens.
I
Oh,
do
yeah.
remember that.
That is true.
Well, let's
Yeah,
let's.
that's true.
I'm gonna post
But
that.
I was like,
very
I don't
quickly.
remember seeing the loot, but I. Or
Well, there's
any-
not a
whatever would be
loot.
on it.
That's
We all
Cadavers,
got to
there's
pick
no
a
loot.
legendary
There's
rare
only a
magical
little.
item.
right. Almost that. Since you're being a little abusive, maybe not that at all.
I choose the deck of many things.
Wow, this late. I hit level 11. 11 is a lucky number.
Okay, we'll go with one treasure
Wait,
hoard.
is his name Asteris or Imbara?
Asterisk
Imbara.
Imbara.
it's,
Almost.
It's either a
almost
first and
that.
last name or a double first name or
We
a
just
title
haven't-
and a name.
We just haven't found the footnote yet
Yeah,
with the
Okay.
asterisk references.
that's right.
So this should make things very interesting. So besides the gold, which I will share, actually, since you've complained you've had so much gold, I will just reduce that ridiculous amount.
Okay, we have gold again now, but we didn't have gold for a little while.
We have so much gold that
Yeah, we do.
we
It's
should
like
just go
10,000
back to the capital and buy the capital and be like, okay, now we don't have to worry about the law.
We don't have that much gold.
I think
We
we
have
do.
enough to like buy out like a duke, I think, but that's it.
Gonna buy out Maglin. Wait, he doesn't have position. We're gonna buy out
Yes, he does.
He's
No.
a noble.
because he's about to be dead, so he doesn't have a position.
don't
We're
think
gonna
that's
buy out
how
the
that
other one,
works.
the other wizard.
If you are eventually going to
Imbara?
die, you lose your position.
On this mortal
Wait, is
coil.
there like some treasure or something I'm looking at?
I don't know. I was looking for it.
Okay, so the things that you've found, I'm just going to list them here so everybody can hear it. Is after identifications from those with that ritual
That's me.
or whatnot. Yes, that's you. You found a pearl of power, the uncommon kind. You found a set of +1 chainmail.
Garbage.
You've found the staff, a staff of the woodlands. It's a rare item.
Wow, there's
You
so
have-
many things.
You have found a +2 light crossbow.
Guess that's good.
You have found a short sword named Giant Slayer.
I know what that does.
Is it slay giants?
Don't ask stupid questions, Dora.
And with
No such thing as stupid questions, Bethany.
well,
She can't rebut it because I'm right.
that's a stupid declaration. We have 1,700 platinum pieces.
Oh,
Okay, maybe now we can buy the capital.
oh my gosh.
Cool. Staff of the Woodlands, only attunable by a druid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Hell yeah.
that's really cool. Too bad I couldn't take a level in Druid because it didn't make any sense.
Does
I
it
mean, we
have a
haven't
flower
long
on
rested
it?
yet.
You know
It's
that
true.
special flower that we always look for? Does it have it on it?
Does it have a flower on it that we always look
Yeah,
for?
the woodland staff.
The woodland staff flower that we always look for.
No, that other flower. I just know what I'm talking about. Okay. Like,
There are no flower petals that are freshly placed upon this treasure hoard.
no, on the
Take it back.
staff, like carved in there, or like, you know, because like I carve things in my handle of my axe.
Holly, what the fuck are you talking about?
Wait, no one knows what I'm talking about for real?
No.
With Tio's wife, the flower thing.
Oh, you mean just flower symbolism in general? The flower that we always look for.
There's a few daisy stickers on a sheet that haven't been pushed on all the items, but you're welcome to.
Aww. Well, that's
I was
very
just curious
sweet.
if it belonged to his wife. I don't know. It's
I would
like-
be very surprised if she was down here as well, because she's already on a different level. So, do I recognize any flowers on it?
You are reaching here.
I was trying to yes and Holly, Beth. Get out of my way.
Don't encourage her.
No, I have not been encouraged in a while. Encourage me, please.
Aw.
Is there any flower iconography on the giant slayer?
Ooh.
Well, Tura, is there any? Yes, ending her.
The way that you imitated her voice.
Oh
Okay,
wait,
so
I have
there's-
to use a light crossbow now. Fuck my life.
Is it
Sorry.
actually optimal now?
Yeah.
So, wait, okay. Did we get that in the... Yes, thank you so much, Casey.
You're not gonna like the loading feature then.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use it.
No, I didn't expect.
It is.
Skyrim
It is
crossbows
better.
are pretty good.
For that one shot.
Yeah, and then I can just switch to my bow.
Yeah, it's a free action. It's
Just drop
if
it.
you put a string on the bow, it can hang from the crossbow, and then you can just.
What does a Pearl of Power do? I've only heard about them.
It's a spell slot, essentially.
It stores spell slots. This is the uncommon value
Oh, that's
kind, so it
cool.
was the first item on the list. It was the uncommons, but indeed.
I think that Kadabra should have that.
What am I having?
While on your person, you can use an action to speak its command word and regain one expended spell slot. If the expended spell slot was a 4th level or higher, the new slot is 3rd level.
Unlimited power.
Yeah, there's
Once per day.
very real limits to this.
I think Jesse should get it.
Jesse, I think that
I
you
like
would,
pearls.
you would use it well, but not how it is intended to be used.
I don't think I
She
would
just
use it at all.
immediately ingests it.
That's what I was meaning.
Like an oyster.
I want to become an oyster.
I am an oyster.
Oh, you know what? We can give the Staff of the Woodlands to that druid friend we made during the campaign.
You made a druid friend?
The one that got killed? Yeah.
Stop that!
Too soon?
Gosh.
Oh, Breely!
Oh, wait, no, we actually know 2 druids that got killed.
Arena.
Who's the other one?
Arena.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Not a good. Not
that's
a good
if she's
campaign to be
really
a
dead,
druid in.
right? Like she
Good
could
times.
still actually be alive.
No, they sent her head back.
Oh! I just made like a brain connection. Hold on. Sorry.
Go on.
Holly, go on.
Okay. What if this is Arena's staff?
No, Holly, you're just fucking.
Look, I haven't red taped.
Wait,
lines
hold
in a
on,
long
hold
time.
on. If we just look back here at the board, the +1 chainmail obviously belongs
To
down
Ian,
here.
blacksmith.
It has the name Steven on it. Steven has 6 letters. Breely had 6 E's in it. So therefore, we can't drink the water in front of you!
I said, Karen, there is no Pepe.
Hey, that's like a legitimate thought, though.
It is a
Oh,
thought
well
that can be
then.
had
Oh
legitimately.
gosh, I can't
You are-
remember. Did Breely get eaten? Was she the hag?
No, she was the
No.
one who helped us in
No.
the swamp.
Psychopath.
Did she die at any point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Any
both.
point.
The hag
a couple
killed her.
times. I guess Jesse's died a couple
Right.
times.
Yes, that's why I'm having a hard time remembering who's dead and who's
Yeah,
not. 'cause
she
I
was
also remembered
the
NPC.
swamp baker lady.
And then I thought that that one lady was the other lady, and I ate her cake, and then I was gonna turn into a werewolf, is what we're gonna call it.
That's
what
what
I'm
I.
gonna call
That's
it.
what I'm thinking of, because she was disguised as Breely for a brief period of time.
So,
I think.
what you're saying is you
Yes.
think the short sword might have belonged to her. Because it
I
has
don't-
flower iconography on it.
No, you've got it all wrong.
Yes.
Short sword is just about giants, which is unrelated to all of this.
Not
But
really,
we fought
because
a giant.
yeah,
That's true. We did fight a
in
frost,
on the
frost
mountain.
giant. We did fight a frost giant.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool. Good
Well-
session, guys. This was good.
Oh.
Thank you all
That's
for
back in
joining
it.
us. Again, thanks for Kevin, the Roll20 people. I'm out.
Wait, didn't we find 1,700 platinum?
Yes.
Yes.
That's currency. People are paid in currency. Maybe this belongs to all the people we've met along the way.
We have to go pay them now and interest as well.
Everyone.
No. This is
Just a
now
really
our
long,
money.
like, extended Lord of the Rings outro montage as
Do
we
you all-
try to Wait, let's go back to that original noble family where that guy was a dick and just buy him as a slave.
Forward.
Is that how it works?
Technically, I think we're still contracted to those
Well-
people.
Well, you've
We
offered
are.
me enough money. I guess you just own me now.
Do you all want to stay in this room and rest, or do you want to go? Cadavers, I don't want you to leave, but you look
I
fine.
mean, didn't you say there was a portal?
I can't remember if you.
He looks quite frail actually. And I go up and I like kind of like blow on him and see if he falls over. And then I push
I
him
like
so
to-
that he does.
Just stab Aurelia.
Okay.
Self-defense.
Didn't you say there was a portal set to be manifest somewhere?
no.
nearby?
Oh right, we had talked about. Sorry, my
Room we came from.
memory
Also,
lapsed. We should go rest
all-powerful
in that
orb
room.
of summoning, is this of any use to us?
I think that we should not have cadavers anywhere near that. I think that you and I should check that out,
Why don't you
or
break
someone. Well, I'm not sure what that. I don't know what that will do.
Do we have another 3 hours?
I don't know. Maglin is quite unreliable.
Quite. Let's kill him. I hope you heard me, Feather.
Oh, we got rid of the feather.
One, we got rid of the feather. 2, the feather was nothing to do with Maglin at all.
It
Well,
was
I
embalmed.
don't remember that, so I said it.
So, I mean, does anyone need this armor? Or any of these items?
I don't know if
Let
that's
me-
better than what I have or not.
Let me take a look at
Jesse,
my
I wasn't aware that you even wore armor.
5e armor.
Yeah, it's right here.
Jesse, don't.
It's 16
Don't do that.
Just
plus
my best.
2.
Got nothing but a fur
Oh,
vest.
it's heavy
chainmail
armor.
is heavy, yeah. Fuck. Why couldn't it just be change?
Alright.
You can't wear it, Holly.
Okay. Well, then I'm good.
We just- Put it in the bag then. Unless you want it, Gislin.
I mean, what am I going to do with chainmail armor?
I don't
not be
know.
sneaky. You can be like us.
I don't think I could ever do that.
You could if you put it on.
No, I think I would still be sneakier than all of you.
That's true.
I think you're right. I'll put it in the
Just
bag.
a little clink.
I would like to leave hell, please.
Well, I have a question before we leave.
Okay.
Should we be concerned about children in coffins?
About what?
Children in coffins.
No.
I didn't want to think about that. But you've made me think about it again.
I mean, do we just leave
I mean,
them
they're already dead. It was just, it seems odd.
Seems like everything that was dead that became alive is already dead again.
So,
Are they-
do you think that children that die should not be put in coffins?
Well, they could be put in coffins, but not placed in hell. That's the odd part.
That is very odd. Are they dragonborn children, Timur?
Would you like to use medicine check to really take a good look at the bones?
Yes.
You may do so.
These are Dearbone's children.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't tell us he had kids.
It would appear that all of the vampire spawn, all of the physical manifestations of the different undead, from the whites to, excepting of course the beholder zombie, are indeed dragonborn, and that is to
Okay.
include these children in coffins.
Can I use a history, or I don't know what the other check would be, insight maybe? To see if I can reason why they would be, is it just like his children? Is that what I could assume, or is it something, there's like indications of them being like royal children or like children of,
The corn.
I don't know. Is there any kind of
Failed clones.
Okay, you can make a
something
roll.
weird, other than them being in hell? What would you like me to roll out of the two of those?
Didn't you just request which you were going to roll?
I said
I would
either
like
or,
to
but they're
roll
both
a-
+9, so it's. I'll go with history.
Okay. Okay. Well, the history
Wow,
of the,
okay.
the
A natural
family
20.
is very much veiled in mystery. There's a lot of things that are missing. It's from a different time. A lot of it's gone forever, etc. But what you've managed to put together is that this whole household of Dragonborn was indeed the family members, whether they were by blood or by conscription, underneath Ambara, and that the entire family, including children, would have been sealed away with him.
Okay. I don't know.
And extended people as well. So there'd be servants and other such, but they do appear to be unilaterally Dragonborn.
What I'm going to assume is that the Ambara family or the Asteris family was sealed away before the era and world they're from was destroyed, and they all are down here. But I don't know when he became a vampire or anything of that.
Yeah, if anything would be a good indicator is that the vast amount of entropy that has occurred throughout this tomb is a great indicator of the large passage of time. Whereas all of the other versions of this Ordan have been a lot more fresh and recent.
Satisfies my curiosity.
It's not mine, but we are not in a position to be overly curious.
We should at least station someone to watch out for that portal. It'd be a shame if it opened and then closed without us going through it.
It's very true.
Well, I could go sit over there, but if anything comes that's bad, I will die. But
Same.
I accept this fate.
I could go.
Or that. I accept this fate.
Well, we could all go, although... Cadavers, when you spent time with our treacherous friend Maglin, Was there any particular items or anything that he possessed that gave him leverage over you or us that would be valuable for us to have going into whatever fraught engagement we're about to have with him, be it social or violent?
I don't understand the question.
When you were with
Does
him,
he
did you
have
see-
anything that would be helpful to us that he wouldn't give us normally?
physically, like an item or
I mean,
a
he has a
weapon?
gem. He has gems. And
Gems
that
like
giant.
the one that we found?
I think he had another one. A giant machine that can suck the power out of a gem and put it into a person that is Maglin shaped.
So he's trying to do what Imbaran did, just not organically.
What?
Also, did any of you catch what...
Is he trying to recreate the orb? Is that what's happening?
No.
Or something?
Did any of
No.
you catch what recently passed vampiric dragon friend here said in his dying breath?
Uh-uh.
No, I didn't.
I'm afraid I
Yours-
was reviving Jesse.
No. You were sort of counting on you for that. I don't speak Dragonborn. He mumbled something. I thought it might be important, but...
GG.
No, I don't remember what he said.
I
It,
can
seemed,
give
it,
you.
seemed, it seemed very ominous.
I
But
can
again, he
give you
was a
two
dying
options.
Dragonborn vampire in hell. So... you
Yeah,
know.
I'm not really sure he had another mode besides ominous.
What were you saying, Holly?
I got two options, but it's not helpful to you in any way.
I mean, your options
Okay.
are always helpful to us.
Gosh.
It's interesting.
He either said we were betrayed or you all were betrayed.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now.
He definitely said you all.
He said,
Y'all been
You were-
betrayed!
betrayed. Which, I mean, if it's Maglin, there's no surprise there. But if it's someone else, such as Jardine or anyone else, that's not good.
Ooh, that's a good question. What did Jardine carry as a weapon? I can't remember.
I want to say it
His
was
Why do
face.
you...
Warhammer or something along those lines.
Did you say his face?
His faith. Faith.
I remember
yeah.
correctly, he was handsome.
But, so, what I'm getting at is we have the ability to, snag any item of value that might be used against us, before we go into a dangerous, unknown situation. So,
I like that thing you said earlier.
Well, why don't you just scry on him first and see what he's doing?
that's
I
a great
believe-
idea.
That there's an anti-divination spell in place, but we'll see what happens.
Well, what about scrying on Maglin?
Yeah.
Definitely a possibility.
Are we...
And taking something from him.
Well, maybe we should just wait to see if a portal emerges, and then if it doesn't, we can start expending our limited energies.
Well, I'm gonna go wait by the portal because I want to go home. My bones hurt more than usual.
All right.
Perhaps we should make sure the way is clear first.
Please do.
Please do.
I'm going to stealthily hop the doodle up there.
You may hop the doodle your way with a stealth check, please.
As far as the leveling up, is it after we long rest we have the abilities available to us, or
Correct.
is it okay? Gotcha.
28.
28. You are as quiet as a quiet thing
A dead
as you
mouse.
sneak your way there. An undead mouse. Squeak. Anyway,
That's how when I turn invisible and sneak around, this is how Gislin moves. I like to pretend I'm a velociraptor.
I'm glad that you can be free with yourself in private like that.
all right. Well, could you give me a perception check, please, along the way?
perception check along the way. I can do these things. 27.
27.
I don't notice myself.
You do not, because you cannot perceive yourself. So as you go to the northern area, seeking and listening and moving very, very, very quietly, you're able to determine that there are no obvious or even subtle movements inside the great chamber up north. You have a stillness to it, but you also have this growing bit of ambient warmth to the place that was missing the entire time it was here.
I will slowly push open this door.
And and you're able to, let me use the dynamic lighting layer. I'll just move this to the side. For some reason, I thought it was already done. And yes, you're able to see into the room. It does appear to be abandoned at this point.
Any signs of a portal?
There are no signs of a portal, but the great stone door that you came at the top of that stair, and it's not like this really steep staircase where it's, oh, that's 20 foot up because it's 20 foot across. It's just a gradual stair, and it maybe is about 4 or 5 foot up from the beginning, all 20 feet away. But there is a large ornate door there, and it is clearly adorned with the kind of arcane symbology that implies that it could be used or has been used as a gate in the past. And certainly that is where you have exited from, as if you had walked through the door the first time. But that gate is notably missing.
I will go get the others and bring them this way.
All right, everyone's welcome to move their tokens with no problems, unless, of course, you're telling me you're going to do something crazy like, I'm going to lay down in the oily substance. Then we'll have to deal with things. But
I'm not going to lay down in the oily substance. I really want to take a sample of it.
Ooh, can I, though, take this body?
Can I? Yeah.
And throw it into the oil? Wait, no, I'm going to do that anyway.
Now, remembering the bodies have all turned to ash because of the accelerated aging process. The powers that kept them animate and undead are no longer there, and it's like exposing a mummy to air a few thousand years later. It falls apart as you touch things.
What about, is there any viable flesh on this thing?
That thing also, it turns out, is as ancient as these Dragonborn, likely entombed around the same time.
Oh, damn.
It's a much larger hunk of almost ash, and then as you touch it, it deflates like that, I baked it too long, and it just...
A bad souffle.
Souffle, actually, but yeah.
We in the business refer to them.
Yes.
I also want to know what it does, but I don't know if now is the time.
Aurelia Cadavris, you finally made it to the north. Clearly, Tio and Jesse are exploratoring. And even these bodies that have been there, I should remove as ashen piles.
Okay.
Those were good fights, though.
Yeah,
the only thing that seems...
Tio.
Like what is this?
What is Jesse's doing?
Lagging, sorry.
What is...
I can't see no more.
Okay. Hold my hand.
All right. But this does not help me move across the map.
Oh, that doesn't. Okay. Just go straight forward. Okay. Is it? I can't. It's late for me because I have dark vision. But is it?
Does nobody have a light source? 0 people.
Okay, I'll put a light on my
On
wedding
yourself?
ring.
Okay. Oh, interesting. I will have you dynamically give out bright light for 20 and low light for 20. That should be helping you, Jesse.
Yes.
Open your eyes, Jesse.
Thank you. I can see now.
Okay. All right, everyone. It doesn't seem to me that the door is open in any kind of productive way.
It doesn't seem to like it's a door so much as a door-shaped wall.
Right. Yes. He did say it would be a few hours, and it hasn't been a few hours. It's only been like 1.5.
Well,
So,
because I was not here during this time, is this the way the door was when we first came here?
yes.
Okay.
When you first came here, the door was the portal you came through.
Right.
But now
But
it's just
it wasn't like a
wall.
door. It was just it's sort of like an inactive portal gate.
Right.
And did we like choose this location, or was
No,
it?
it was very haphazard. We were
Like,
like, Maglin, send this down. And he was like, okay, bye. Like
Purposely
that kind of thing.
sent us to this exact spot.
You asked to come here.
Oh,
We
okay.
did.
Sorry.
Yes, but
Just
we didn't-
FYI, you weren't like, hey, guys,
We
want to
were
go to the pub?
betrayed.
Go to hell.
He did stroke Cadaver's sword very longingly,
Creepily.
and I mean literally his sword, not any sort of euphemism.
Well, it kind of
He
is
has-
though, because it's
Thank
not
you for
his wife.
clarifying that.
He has all of the swords, including Cadaver's.
Okay.
Oh, that's an interesting point. Cadavers, you want your sword back? Oh, but does
I
he
would
need them to
quite
open
like
the...
my sword back.
Does he need them to open the portals?
Yes.
Then
I have a feeling I have a feeling we're not gonna like what Maglet has been doing with the swords while we've been away.
We have only been gone for a number of hours, so unless time moves differently here, I don't remember it moving differently.
So far, it has not.
Okay. He shouldn't have been able to do very much. He has a wizard's endurance, which is not much, in my opinion.
you seem awful
many
knowledgeable
jokes
about
that I
his
could make.
endurance, Tia.
We used to run together in the club.
They are single-minded in their pursuits, but they can't last long.
But also, if
Anything
he
else?
He uses all of his high-level spell slots at the first round.
His fourth level spell is literally summon Red Bull. He has to have it.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to do uncouth things with a set of swords that were in the hands of people who were powerful enough that picking a fight with them would not necessarily be your first choice, and then those people just sort of handed the swords to you and left you alone with them for a couple of hours, I feel like you could probably find the motivation to get up to some shit.
This is true. The things they do are open this portal, seal away Tiamat, release Tiamat, potentially.
Now they do not open the portal. That ritual was in the one location only, which is fine, but they allow for finer tuning, no error teleportations and magical sorts and gates. So
Gotcha.
so that what Maglin was doing is saying, I could get you to hell without him, and it's who knows where you're gonna go.
Gotcha. Okay, so you can
wink,
indiscriminately teleport with them to anywhere you want. Is that what you're saying?
Not
If you
anywhere.
had a
They
location.
might be linked to these kind of special places.
Okay. So he would have to know where to go with these.
So he could use them to get places. He could also, I don't know, use his soul draining machine to drain some souls out of them, converting
Cadavers.
those souls to energy
Did he have that?
that he could then absorb and become much more powerful.
What
I'm
is-
just saying, I have been saying this for a while, that maybe giving him the swords was not our most brilliant tactical maneuver.
Wait, does he have
Lydia.
the
Yes.
god sword?
We were focused on other things.
such as defeating Asteris Sambora,
Correct.
I'm just saying that.
Holly, to
Potentially
answer your
stopping
question,
Tiamat.
there were 2 swords that you have been dealing with this entire campaign that Maglin was given to get you to here. But a 3rd sword was required, and that 3rd sword happens to be something that Cadavers gave him.
His wife.
You remember the creepy, oh yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah.
Because the wife sword also has the dragon queen in it.
It does.
Or they merged.
Oh, okay.
Or something.
That was my question.
So there's at least a minimum of 1 soul in that sword. My impression was that Gislin's sword also had a soul in it because it was Promorok's soul that was in that sword.
Did not
Who
give him
has
that
the
one
gold
though.
dragon sword?
Oh, do you still have that one?
Okay.
Yeah, that was not given
Okay.
to him.
I thought.
We gave
Okay.
him the evil swords.
So he has Callus.
So he
Go on.
has. So I don't know if there are souls in
Tendril.
all of the swords. But we know
Callus,
that at
Tendril,
least.
and hatred. Hate? Just hate.
Nope. Callus Tendril, your wife has hate.
My wife has hate?
Your wife is part of the group.
I don't want to make any presumptions about her emotional state.
Your wife is part of the group that was given one of the swords.
And this group
Allegedly.
is the group that...
The Winter Court.
Right, okay. So the group is the Winter Court. There's not a specific group that you're referring to within the
There
Winter
is
Court.
a specific group that calls themselves the Winter Court, and I went to great lengths to mention that often there are small groups that use that title in Eldrin society. It's like calling yourselves like a Mason or something. You're part of a group, but really
Okay.
there's a whole bunch of them. I'm in the Legionnaire. I'm a Legionnaire. But these Legionnaires over there, they're not us. Even though they use the same, you know what I'm saying? So it's a very thematic and Eldrin thing to do, is to call yourself this Winter Court or Summer Court, or the Autumn Court, etc., depending. And there's other group names. It's not just always those things, but amongst those things, it's common.
Okay.
All right, so we don't know whether there are souls in all of the swords, but we know that at least one of the swords that Maglin has a minimum of 1 soul in it.
Yes. Just to clarify, the swords are Tendril, Callus, Hatred, Hate, Silvervein, Elegance, and
Bastion.
Bastion. Thank you.
And,
And then Vinya. And Vinya is not one of those original swords, but
They
she
merged.
is housing the champion of Bahamut, or
No. So the champion of
queen.
Bahamut went into
Another sword.
Silvervein, which Gislin has.
okay, so we had two swords with 2 souls.
Oh, is that what?
It's not in Silvervein. It's in the
Is-
separate blank sword that we had.
Oh, right. I
Correct.
forgot that. We have so many swords.
That's why I want to name them so
We've
that we
been
can refer
dealing
to them
with
by
so many
name.
swords.
Because
Yeah,
the
Which-
sword messes
Which
me up.
Tio had last, I remember.
Okay, so there's Gislin's sword, which is Silvervein, which has Promorok's soul in it.
Mhm.
There's
I would
There-
like to mention that you spoke with Promorok in a physical form.
I don't remember his soul
Alright,
going into
please-
anything.
Please
did he
continue.
not? Did
It's the wife,
We have
the queen.
the queen.
Oh, okay, so we don't. There's no soul. Casey's sword has 0.
We don't
souls.
have a king soul.
No,
He's just bones now, I think.
She's
My-
got the gold dragon.
The gold dragon was the champion of
Yeah.
Bahamut.
Okay, so before this goes amazingly off rails, because I feel I can see they're on the downhill of a roller coaster and they didn't build the track. All right, so just to let you know, Silvervein was Promorok's sword. Elegance was the queen's sword.
Queen's sword. But they didn't
okay?
have their souls
Was the
in them,
queen's sword, not is the queen.
right?
I thought
None of-
I thought that
none-
Elegance had the queen's soul in it.
So
Writing this down again.
none of the swords were housing souls as a general rule. They were just given the means to be powerful by Ordan. They did not then take their user's soul.
Oh, okay. I see where my confusion came from. I have in my notes, Queen gave her all to make sure Elegance survived, which is why she hasn't risen. So I think that's where that confusion in my head came from, combined with the fact that Vinya became Elegance.
Yes, that is true. Vinya and Elegance have been merged, but it is debatable how many souls, which is fine that you're doing that. I just
There's
wanted to make sure
theoretically
that yeah.
Let me rephrase. Cadaverous thinks there is one soul in his sword.
Cadaverous
And
knows there is one soul in his sword.
and Maglin
Oh right, I forgot about
also
that.
thinks that there's a soul in the sword, though whether that is based in objective proof or just like the sheer force of Cadaverous's belief is unclear.
Okay. So I'm putting question marks next to Vinya again. Sorry, Cadaverous.
Question mark next to Tio.
Gislin is fiddling with the crossbow.
It is a
No,
very
with it in
nice
your
crossbow. It's unfortunately much slower than your normal quiver arrow situation.
If you're not going to use
Although-
that, Gislin, I could use it.
I dare say
know.
that Gislin shoots so quickly, so often, that you just usually have arrows in your fingers as you're shooting the other arrows.
Yeah, you can't shoot that many arrows.
There's no way you're like, that's not, you're just like, I've seen some YouTube videos. There's trampolines
Super
and
cool.
jumping. You can jump.
I've seen that video as well, actually.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
Which swords are we currently in possession of? Because I have gotten mixed up.
We have Dragon King Sword, and we have
Which
Hell
is-
Dragon Sword.
Silvervein. So
Correct.
we have Silvervein and we have Elegance.
No,
We don't have
We have
Elegance.
Silvervein
because
and we
I
have
have Elegance.
Elegance equals Vinya, which is with Maglin.
given to Maglin currently.
we do have. I think we do have Bastion, right? Is that correct?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Bastion
We wouldn't have given anyone we
is a great sword, so you have stowed it.
right. I want to say that we gave Maglin, Callus, and Tendril.
We did.
Okay.
Incorrect.
We did not give Maglin, Callus, and Tendril.
Not those two.
We don't have hate because the Winter Court has hate.
Incorrect. Not that
So
one.
they have
Okay.
we have Callus,
They do.
and we have Hate and Dendril, which we gave to Maglin.
Right.
Plus
So
Vinya.
Maglin has hate.
So
and
we
Tendril.
have Bastion, we have Promarok Sword, which is whatever the fuck, Silvervein,
Silvervein.
Silvervein, yeah.
and we have the sword with the dragon in it.
Currently housing the
the
dragon.
red herring. Okay. With what's it? What's the dragon's name? It starts with an N.
Neil.
No.
Nalagash.
Nalaga.
Nalal.
Nala.
Oh,
Nalanesh
oh,
sounds
I
close.
wasn't involved in this.
Nalanesh.
It's definitely an N name.
Why
Is it
isn't it right
Nalanesh?
here?
Nicole.
Nalanesh is the golden
Wow, good
dragon
job,
that
Casey.
was put in
Okay.
bondage in the depths
This
of
is
hell.
what my notes say.
Goldie.
My
Aw.
notes say it too, but it took me forever to find it. I'm like, it's
Okay.
there we go.
So we have Nalanesh, Silvervein, and Bastion.
Yes.
That's all we've got.
I have Silvervein on me.
Bastion was in the bag of holding, and
right.
you now have that again.
Okay. Would anyone like to carry
This great sword.
this sword?
I can't really do anything with it.
I got enough going on with my weaponry.
Clerics use swords. What kind of sword is it again, Timur?
It's a great
Timur.
Hmm?
A great sword?
It's a great sword.
Oh, I see. You've been actually saying what it is this whole time.
Yeah, it's great.
Just a really good sword.
And then Callus.
So good.
The Winter Court has Callus. That's right.
So why are we?
Just
Why
a
is this conversation happening?
So we know what we're dealing with when we go up there because we have gotten ourselves
It's a
into
delay
a
tactic.
load of crap, and we have to fight our way out of it to breathe. So
I'm breathing.
debatable.
No.
No, not really.
Just
Definitely
maybe
breathing.
by the skin of your teeth. And they do have skin. I've seen them up close. They're very fuzzy.
That's disgusting.
I know.
My
it.
teeth have skin.
They essentially do now. I don't think I've ever seen you brush your teeth before. Do you all want to rest now? And just wait?
No, now we're gonna have nightmares.
What about Jesse's teeth?
Well, I didn't know they were covered with skin.
I didn't know that either. I would lick them, but I'm kind of terrified now.
Does that mean we could?
What?
Does that mean we could skin Jesse's teeth and tan them and then make some sort of armor or something from it?
Oh crap! Of course that happened.
I'm very curious about the orb in the other room, but I don't think it's wise to go poking things right now.
Seems like everything is quiet and dead.
I could wake
I
it
I'd
back up.
really like to take like a bone or something. Ooh. No. I ate that already.
Did you keep your dragon tongue?
Yeah, that I have to torture by feeding it to Maglin.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
Okay.
do remember this.
That
Not even
cannot be
not even a
used.
chunk of it would be
No.
spared.
Guys are freaks.
My plan as a player is to sit here until we accomplish a long rest. I'm willing to support other people's plans, but that is my plan.
I would really like to put a body of some sort, you know, flesh and bone, or one or the other, whichever we can find, inside that oil, but it's looking like I can't do that right now, so I'm gonna go sleep anyway.
Does anyone have any reason that a long rest would be delayed? Do you have actions you would like to do? Some investigations, some tests,
Do
some
we-
theories? More just talking.
I'd like to talk about swords for another 45 minutes.
Wha-
Do we have a spell slot to use the orb?
I
to
have.
scry?
I think I have one 5th level spell slot, and that's.
Do we want to peek in at Maglid before we take a long rest?
Then
Not steal. Just
We'll have-
look.
we'll have a puzzle to solve if we do that.
Anything happens and someone dies, they're dead forever.
That's a good point.
Actually, I have.
Well, there, we do have the Pearl of Power now, so
I do
that is
have-
the third level.
Doesn't help.
I have 2 5th level spell slots left. That's it.
Why does not the third level?
I've already been.
Doesn't give a revive or a scry.
I have 2, so I could scry, but it would only
Well,
be.
no, the Pearl of Power gives you a third level spell slot for Revivify, and then
But don't you have to like time pass for Revivify?
Yep.
I've already
it's
been
one
revivified.
minute.
Oh, a
No,
minute?
it's since you went down.
Yeah.
There's not a limit on it. You can go down.
Oh, you can use it as much as you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
As bounded by spell slots.
It's not
As-
like Wish. where
and
there's, like,
diamonds.
a-
And
Time.
diamonds.
Yes.
Kayla, how many diamonds do we have left?
We have
Since you've
2
used a
remaining.
few?
I only used 1, and we have 2 remaining. I have not used 1 since the mountaintop. I mean, other than that one I used on Jesse.
Do we
Other
want
than
to
the
try
ones
to?
I've used, I didn't use them.
No, just that one on Jesse, because I didn't need to revive anyone else. That's why I have 2 5th level spell slots remaining.
Dora?
Do we want to do a short rest and then scry on Maglin and then do a long rest?
Scrying, we'll have to figure out the oil thing, and if something happens during that,
I
Okay.
think we just long rest.
Okay, then let's just long rest.
A song rest.
Okay. Kayla,
Mm-hmm.
could you give me a percentage roll?
Are we gonna get random encountered?
Who's to know what's going to happen here? 33.
Uh-oh.
Very nice. You
That's
have
how old Tio is.
you have done it. You have completed a long rest.
ooh,
As the hours go by slowly but surely, the warmth doesn't get to the pitch where you're sweating. It's actually rather much more comfortable down here. There's a bit of, I mean, they could dust. It's definitely musty, but it's not
Asbestos.
freezing. And yeah, like you might have the black lung pop, but it's okay. Everybody has long rested, which means you enjoy
Wow.
all of the benefits of your brand new level.
Does Cadavers and Jesse return to their original hit point maximum?
Hey,
All of the
alive.
yes, all of the terrible wraith powers have gone away.
Gislin does that thing like the little gif of the girl eating cotton candy.
So funny. You all look so much healthier now.
Mom always said you must get an 8-hour rest.
I'm glad that we could.
It
Just
doesn't
wait until you come out of hell and your mom's waiting.
The portal didn't open, did it?
At any point in this, did a portal open?
At 0 points, a portal opened.
Okay,
Well,
folks, I think it's time to have an oil adventure.
or kill Magma.
Really, I don't like the way that sounds.
Have you come up with a flesh bone scenario I can stick in that oil?
Jesse, you look healthy
Who's
enough
willing to die?
to go
Who's willing
swimming.
to die? We have
If-
2 more diamonds.
For whatever it's worth, I did watch some of the creatures that we were fighting travel through it without getting injured. So whether
Also
that's-
was not flammable.
So based on
Huh.
those 2 bits of information, it's likely benign.
Unless you're
Or alternatively activated by using the orb.
Mm.
We threw
Well,
stuff in it.
So
Is the stuff still floating?
I could put some more stuff on it.
Those stuffs did not float.
the giant
They-
rocks
they
we put in
sunk.
there are not floating.
I thought that
Sunk in a
I
way-
thought that they stayed at the surface.
they sunk
They
in a way
stayed
that
just
implied that
underneath.
it was,
It was
shallow.
very shallow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I could put another one on top
As
of
long
it.
as I don't
Yeah.
stop moving, I can run on top
I
of
mean, Jesse, why don't we just
That's
build
true.
a little bridge over there with there's enough sarcophaguses here, so
There's
It's so
plenty
good
of
seeing all that
stonework
red
here.
on the.
I need light.
Oh, I'm coming. I cast it again.
Okay, it should still be on Jesse's token.
Okay. I'll just
I
take.
just pick you up and carry you.
Thank you. I'll just take as many little things that go on top of coffins that are needed, and I will try and stack them, push them, and
Keep throwing until there's a bridge, huh?
yeah.
I mean, I'll help her position them in a way that's like. I mean,
Well,
I'm
this
assuming that
is
we can.
just- This is just a function of time and effort.
Yeah.
There is no way to fail as long as you're willing to do both. Spend the time and expend the effort.
Of
So
course.
you are able to make a bridge, and we'll even do this for you. Whoop. Hmm. And it's a few layers big, so there's, there's some overlap, but you managed.
Whew. All right. Now
Thank you, Jesse.
you must steal a spell
Oh.
book if you see Maglin. Go.
Okay.
Or if he has something that seems more important than the spellbook, that's fine too.
Gems, his hair.
Well-
Pantaloons.
Can
How-
you
how
steal
s-
just someone's hair?
I mean, you could. You rip a handful out.
Anything that makes him look absolutely ridiculous, but beyond the point that he
That's
already
not-
does.
Humiliation is not my goal right now, but I will
It is mine.
think about it.
Wait till he's shaving, and when he's halfway done, steal the razor.
Davros, how big was the machine you saw? Small? Large, okay. And the gem. Did you lose your voice?
Well, I mean, I can
I was
vaguely.
just worried about you.
You are very old.
Very frail. All right.
You're
You look
very-
exactly like you did yesterday.
So you think the gem would be what I should go for? If I am to take something, I don't know if I can.
Take
alright.
my sword back, please.
Is that what you'd like, as opposed to?
Seems like a reasonable grab. I mean,
Okay.
you can do this multiple times, right?
Yeah, just get one thing and then go back for another thing until he's got no things left.
We just
If I don't
stay
pass-
in hell forever and steal all of his earthly possessions one
I'm
by
pretty
one.
sure that if I don't pass the check for scrying, I can't scry on him again until a full day has passed.
Well, and that's the case. You better bring some cake with you.
Okay. Right. I'm going to
I'd offer my help,
walk
but
carefully out onto
not
the.
very helpful.
Just catch me if I fall, or something like that. Help me out of the water.
Just don't fall, Tio. It's a pretty simple walk.
I didn't have time to build rails, so just,
It's okay.
stay straight.
Dexterity saving throw, Tio.
Really?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Jesse, you said it was stable.
It is for a makeshift stone bridge.
Which is true. Most of her makeshift stone bridges are quite.
Dude, it's just 3 stones. Step on that.
Hey,
Alright.
that's a better bridge than I built in a while.
I remember in the past I had to use an Arcana check for this, and then scrying.
You have in front of you a large glowing orb. The stone orb still glows out that green, although now that you're up close, you can see that the structure itself is very, very damaged, as there have been magical arrows that have hit it with all of the Gizlan might.
Yes.
You may roll your Arcana.
Before I do that, I'm going to cast guidance on myself. Classic.
Hacks.
Alright. Arcana. Okay. I think that's the lowest Arcana roll I've ever rolled. 16.
You believe that using this in its damaged state will be dangerous.
Okay. Bad news. Our Wellington's efforts earlier have made a roadblock. I think that if I use this, it might explode or do something of that sort.
Here or where you're scrying?
I don't think it depends on the location. It depends on the use.
So
Meaning
should we
it's
just
not.
smash it?
It has a certain level of volatility to it that I think will be bad if we do that.
I can
You
smash
can't fix it?
I can smash it from very far away.
Well, it's not fixable.
I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what this is made of.
Some sort of stone.
It's made of a stone. I'll do a nature check. I have a feeling it's gonna come up negative.
You're like, wow, it's made of racks.
It's green.
No, it's glowing green. The
It's
stone
glowing.
itself has much more of a natural look to it.
Hmm.
Am I touching the oil in any way? As in, like, is there any kind of
No,
oil
you're
on
inches
the...
away from the oil, as Jesse was specifically using every lid around.
Okay. I'm gonna step back off of this for now.
Okay.
And I, just because I have spell slots that I can use, I'm going to cast Identify at first level on the oil. I'm going to touch it with a finger.
Okay, so after a minute, you have touched the oil with your finger, and you identify it as some sort of oil.
Okay.
Matter of
does that mean
fact,
it's magical?
you believe it's rancid.
Ooh.
So now that things are warming up, you're like, well, that just smells like it's
Foul.
was maybe a pit of living things that have been there so long it's oil now.
Oh, that's really bad.
Yeah.
Fossil fuels.
The gang
Or on
invents
liquid
gasoline.
gold.
Texas tea. All right.
Oh.
Well, I
Okay.
really wanted to take something from him.
Well, I'm gonna go out and cast Identify while touching the.
You're like, I can't be
orb.
spiteful.
I'm gonna do it again. Identify on the orb.
The orb,
Another spell slot.
use the spell slot. The orb
Mhm.
comes back as the same exact orb in
Okay.
nature as the last one you've run into. Although this one specifically is just a different iteration of the same thing. It's like, oh, look, Reebok and Nike, they're both shoes. They do exactly the same thing, but they look slightly different.
Gotcha.
Is this one the Reebok or the Nike?
This one's like New Balance. It's just...
Cadaverous, you should know about this one.
What?
The New Balance orb. Because you're old.
The door,
I'm not old.
the portal that we walked through to get in here, is that worth looking at to get out? I mean, you've opened portals before, Tio.
This is true.
No pressure, but we're all sort of trapped in hell until you figure out how to get us out of
I'm
here.
here with you too. We also haven't looked at those rooms down at the bottom.
What rooms?
Yes.
The rooms
Oh, yeah.
that we ignored.
It might have something. Ooh!
I mean, Jesse and I can go look at the rooms, or we could all go, or we could try to make
Well,
a portal.
the gate will be there regardless, so we should all go and look down there first.
Right. Well, there's nothing we can't all do if we all are close to each other.
What did we identify the concertina?
Cadaverous, did you attune to that?
That was what I was trying to say before Dora interrupted me. Fuck you, Dora. Yeah, I wanted
I'm
to
not
attune
sorry.
to the concertina over my long rest. If I can, like,
Retroactively attuned to the concertina.
that's what I meant to say. But then Dora started talking about swords again.
I believe you only need a short rest to do it, so you can still do it.
What did it do? What was the purpose of it again? I can't.
It does like the
Gives
fucking
you-
dancey shit.
Yeah.
Well,
it's,
doesn't it also give you freaking plus something to your spell save DC?
Does it?
What?
I thought it was like really freaking good.
Wait, I.
It is a very, very potent thing. Oh, well, click.
Is
click
it
the wrong one.
Reveler's concertina or concertina?
Oh shit! While holding this concertina, you gain a +2 bonus. I'm fucking dying. Hold on.
The concertina got to her.
Soul.
It is called the Reveler's Concertina.
+2
Here,
bonus
let's-
to the saving throw of your bard spells.
That's insane.
There you go.
Dang.
And you can cast Otto's Irresistible Dance. Plus
Cool.
2 to save it to your DC is stupid.
Insane. Yeah.
Stupidly good.
Dang. You have 2 magical items out of our 3.
I got the boots.
I would like to mention how many magical weapons the party has.
Yeah, we do have a lot of magical weapons.
I literally only have a +1 bow, and now I guess the +1 crossbow.
+2 crossbow.
Plus
It
2
is a
crossbow.
+2. It's a nice one.
I'm gonna change my soul save DC and make this short rest right here.
Like, it does what now? He just kind of
Sits down,
cuddles
yeah.
it and lays down.
Okay.
How do I add +2 to my soul save DC?
Sorry, you guys. My computer. Is
You
Probably
can do
in
an,
the-
you can attune
I see.
the
I got
Reveler's
it.
Concertina to you, and it should do it automatically on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, but I don't use D&D Beyond. I use Roll20.
Yes, but that's why we can't rely on anything that you roll or show here, because it could be cheating. All right, so
I'm dying again.
I'm sorry, likely.
Oh no.
Likely, I should say likely. Either way, you're going to get your short rest. And the others can go exploring. It's fine.
Okay.
Even if we don't use the orb, I still think we should scry on Maglin.
We cannot, because we don't know where he is, I think. What can you
That's-
try?
I don't think that's how that spell works.
I think it's something to do with the fact
Holy
that we're on a different
Lord.
plane, but I can't remember.
Scrying.
Scry-
Can't
doesn't
we just
say-
scry on your wife?
It's the same plane. So the reason why I couldn't scry on her before is because she was on a different plane. She's still in the Feywild.
We cannot scry on him.
Oh.
But
Rumbadum.
the orb can allow us to look through planes, which is why we could see Asteris and Bar before.
Rumbadum.
I open this door.
Very powerful.
You open the door. The door opens with no issue. Here on the dynamic lighting layer, I shall just go click, click. You should now see a hallway in front of you leading
Ooh.
to a larger area that includes an oversized skull on a table. Look at the size of that skull.
Good golly.
Is the skull still yammering like it was before?
It is not yammering, and it seems to have lost its ability to.
Wait, what?
What's happening in
What?
this room? Oh, there.
This skull was yammering?
Yeah, I didn't make a fuss of that because I didn't want us to get distracted.
What was
You're
it saying?
you're so wise, Casey.
What was it saying?
Just something about the
Stuff.
apocalypse.
It's just one of those psycho crazy skulls.
I have no idea what psycho crazy skull you've seen before. This is my first time.
Dearbone.
This is my first psycho crazy self.
You saw Dearbone.
What about that one on the top up there? That's really creepy looking.
Yes, it looks like somebody has taken pieces of bone and made a small little seating for one of these very large skulls.
Ugh.
That's a seat.
Well, more like one of those like fold out picnic chairs. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm. Okay, I'm
It's
starting
just
to
a
detect magic.
holder.
Ritually, but yeah. I'm just gonna use my first level spell. I haven't been able to do this. So I'm gonna do it. I'm relishing in having first level spell slots. again.
Relish,
What is
mustard,
this?
ketchup, all of it.
Is this another?
It
entrance
looks
to
like
get-
there is a barricaded entrance behind all of that.
I will start unbarricading.
Okay, you
Um,
start pulling that down. Tio, did you say detect magic?
Yes.
Account for the spell unless it's ritual. And if you're
No,
taking
it's
the
not.
time to do a ritual, we'll deal with it.
I'm
Is a
doing
ritual.
it instantly.
All right, you're doing it instantly. So
Mhm.
account for the spell usage, and there appears to be no magic left here in this room.
Okay. I am gonna look at the table while they're looking at the barricade though and see what's on it.
The table looks like it has some scrawlings. You would dare say it's one of these fiendish or infernal languages.
Okay.
It's even harsh on the eyes. You're like, oh, it looks terrible. It's just everything that's wrong about it.
It's like abyssal chicken scratch.
It literally is. There's very little that you can make from it unless you use some sort of amazing ability.
Does Cadaverous' helm allow him to read? Or is it just here?
Ask Cadaverous.
Cadaverous.
Are you a Pokemon? Cadaverous, does that helm that you have allow you to read or just hear languages?
For the duration, I understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that I hear. I also understand any written language that I see.
Can you come look at this for me? With the helm
In
on.
45 minutes.
Okay. Well, when
Islan,
you're done with that.
the large room that you're running around is filled with these recessed into the ground sarcophaguses, as if they had just made. They could have done a lot easier with coffins, but instead it's stonework that has been laid down. So it's all at almost ground level. You see some steps barricaded that have been breached that lead to what appears to be some sort of old resting spot. or lounge.
Oh, yes, the dungeon
Also
lounge.
notably is the huge 20 plus foot tall statue, where the ceiling that's normally only 15 foot tall has a huge domed um, uh, extra space to fit this gymongous statue. And the dome is large enough so where you can see the statue from all of the room. It is a very large symbol of death, skeleton, sickle, etc., etc.
Plant growth down here?
Were you a botanist
sorry,
now, Jesse?
Holly?
What?
What was the question?
Plant growth?
There's some
Or is that mold?
there's some green colored
Huh.
dust on it. It's about that. It's just old and musty and dusty. Cadavers, did you take a look at the scrawlings? Where's Cadavers?
Everest is busy.
Can
attuning to the
I
Constitution.
do so without attuning, or is my attuning done?
Your tuning is finished.
Excellent.
Oh, that's nice. I will run back into the other room.
It looks like it details a profane prayer to a god of death known as Brytak. It is a prayer that will nullify the undead in the area. It requires a blood offering, but not a death.
Oh, this would have been really handy. 8 hours ago.
And
Would have been.
also, the scroll says to chant along with the songs that the skulls sing.
Oh. Well,
How you make them sing?
I don't want to.
Cannot anymore.
Probably some kind of enchantment. And I'm gonna look over at this table too. Oh.
Yeah, it's the same table. Oh, this is just a table filled with ancient pieces of nothing. It's just junk.
Okay.
So is that on this table right here? Is that flesh and bone I see?
No, what you see is a bowl what looks to be dried blood
Oh,
and a skull, which looks to be dried skull.
all
You're
right.
gonna throw it in there anyway, even though it's just oil.
Now, make no mistake, Jesse. It might occur to you that both a skull and a bowl could be used as a bowl, but
I'll think about it.
I would like to search this room for anything of interest beyond mundane objects before my
Okay.
party
Need more chairs.
arrives. Oh no, my party's here.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we can go away again.
No, I'm staying here. I'm reading this book on the table. I'm trying to.
you may do your investigations, please.
Hey, there's the key.
What?
There's no key.
There's a key right there.
No.
Low key, there's no key. This is just a dust
It
mark.
looks like
that
a key to
looks
me.
like it was a key. How's that? Gislin, your investigation's amazing. As Jesse goes, look, there's a key, and ruins your entire thought process.
There's nothing here. It's just old and dusty.
Unfortunately, it looks like the last skull with the last verse of any song to end the undead would have been over this way. It looks like the rest of the room is literally ancient junk. There's no parchments, no books to look at. The one book that's there, if you try to turn the page, it just kind of breaks away into dust, as its pages aren't just brittle, it's literally like talcum powder. It's just kind of oh.
Can I take those bones on the table?
You may take the bones on the table. You find the bones to be exceedingly brittle. Even when you go like
brittle.
just go like this, they just kind of start snapping. Think of it as like a very thin pretzel. It's just that. It's just anything you do to it's gonna break it.
I'll spit on one of them
Yeah.
to try and keep it together.
This will fix it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Delicious.
I'm
Looks like
sucking
all
them.
of the adversaries that may have been here at one point are gone.
that's good.
And it looks like all of the keynotes to helping yourself out in the dungeon is also inapplicable now that you've decided to go right to the boss that one time. So that was good, and this was unnecessary. But it does still exist, even though it's moot, like an ent. Moot.
Okay. Well, the thing next on my list is to figure out a way out of here.
Okay, go ahead.
Aurelia,
Yes.
now that we're alone, I have to confess that I don't know how to get out of here.
Figure it out for
at
me,
all.
Aurelia.
Aurelia comes up and she puts a hand on Tio's arm and she says, I know.
I think we all knew.
That's not good!
No, it's quite bad, but I mean, I kind of figured that. I figured there's at least a 75% chance that this is how things were going to kind of end up. So I just kind of resigned myself to the fact that maybe this is home now. Maybe we just live in hell.
There's no
This
food!
is where I live now.
Jesse will eat us!
Tio!
And I
You could
don't-
make Tio.
I don't-
You could make food.
Allegedly.
Tio!
I believe in you.
Gislin, what?
Tio! The door!
What? I'm coming! I didn't want to have to do this.
Tio!
I can't. Where are you?
Tio! Follow my
Where's
voice,
Gislin?
Tio!
I don't know where you are. I'm sorry, my computer is so laggy. Where are you?
Come to
Tio
the
does not have a
exit, Tio!
computer.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I keep drawing squares. Ah! Sorry, I'm really struggling to get out of this room.
I'd like to check the entrance exit door thing that we came in, utilizing my arcane knowledge to see if I can potentially create a portal.
You give me the roll if you'd like. This does look kind of magic-y.
Tio!
I'm coming! It takes me a certain amount of time to walk a distance, and I'm doing that. I'm actually, my computer is just really like.
Have you
Sorry.
tried to do calisthenics? Something. Tio, door.
There's that famous wizard's endurance. Tio also has it.
I'm not a wizard. I'm
Look.
not a wizard!
I'm pretty sure this line right here means this could be a portal.
I think
No,
you're
wait.
right.
No, that's a cobweb. Sorry.
Okay.
Cadaverous
No.
will tap Tio on the head inspiringly.
And you are unconscious, Tio.
I'm going to also cast guidance on myself.
I step back.
I've done this once before with a ball, and this is not a ball. This is a wall. So we'll see what happens.
They
Technically,
rhyme.
it's a door. Looks like a door to me. Maybe if you think about it more like a door than a wall, then it'll go somewhere.
Okay. I'm going to add guidance to that. And Bardic Inspiration is how many? 6?
1d8.
D8.
1d8.
68.
30.
30.
That should do it.
So, what you have is a magic circle that is hand carved into the door. The magic circle can receive and send the gate spell. If you have the gate spell, you may use the gate spell. You will never miss with this gate. However, this gate itself, or this circle itself, cannot transport you by itself.
We don't have the gate spell.
No, we don't.
What spell scroll was found here?
Detect magic.
Detect magic.
Oh, okay.
We're probably going to be eating it soon.
Our options are for me to divine something with the divines, message someone.
Why not ask your gods to help? Perhaps it's about time they chipped in.
Yes.
It would be nice.
Is Jesse standing there alive because of the divine nature of your gods? Go on.
Yes.
What have they done for us lately?
In the past 8 hours.
So aside from the roads and the aqueducts and medicine and education, what have the Romans ever done for us?
All right.
I butchered that
I'm
quote.
thinking of what would be the best option. Well, I have divination. We could ask, will we get out? I have divine intervention.
What about how? How do we get out?
Will we? Maybe. Damn it.
It's just like, yeah, maybe.
One way or another.
I can also ask for them to intervene directly. Divine intervention. Would you like
Have
me
we
to do
tried
first?
talking to that little traitor yet today?
What?
The little imp.
Oh,
who saw on the mountain?
Maglin.
Oh, I see. You mean sending him a message?
Or the imp. Sure, why not?
We do have imps. Maybe they can get us out.
Ooh.
I think we should hatch all of the imps.
But for target practice.
That would be tremendous.
Something to do. All right. Jesse, I am going to say that I know what you would say, so I'm not going to ask you what you would say, but what would you all, other than Jesse, like me to say to Maglin in this
I'm being
message?
excluded again.
No, I will be able to convey your feelings because I know them well in my tone of voice. So I've already accounted for you.
All right, I want to hear that tone of voice though.
Okay.
How about, hello, Maglin. Killed great evil. Healed back up.
And don't mention about Boromir. Matter of fact, don't say anything at all.
Portal now. Or we're coming for you.
Okay.
Ooh, Cadaver's getting a little threatening. I like it.
I like it too.
I mean, we're coming from regardless, so maybe we should just lead with the threat.
Yeah, but he's just like being open about it. I mean, I'm proud.
I'm going to say verbatim what you said. Aurelia, anything you'd like to add or take away from that?
Well, if you add or take away from it, you're not saying verbatim what I said.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. Sending. Maglin.
No.
Type it out. Okay.
If you don't, this will get lost forever.
It's very true.
Remember, I just want to reiterate, you did say you were going to do it verbatim, so no pressure here.
In the meantime, what are the rest of you doing as you all stare to your way?
Just playing the concertina.
You keep casting on to say, hey, dance for me.
Dance, monkey, dance.
I'd like to see how many arrows I can put in Cadaver's throat until he's quiet again.
Oh my gosh. Okay, message has been sent.
Message sent. So do tell me your immediate actions at all, and we'll see if there's a response.
I climbed the Grim Reaper statue.
I like the way you said that, just very casually.
That was a statement of intent, by the way. I'm trying to climb the Grim Reaper statue.
I'm also going to cast divination and ask Rao, if I can, how we can get out.
Actually, what I'm doing is I am running straight up the side of the Grim Reaper statue. Because that's something I can do. and I'm gonna perch on its head.
I will
Very
not
nice.
acknowledge this in any way. I don't want to
The
encourage it.
fucking gremlin.
I just have like images of that freaking episode of Barry with the Karate Kid daughter.
Yeah,
She's on the
Perched
roof.
on the rooftop.
exactly like that. That is exactly what Aurelia is doing.
Well, Maglin has said that there are complications. He knows it makes him look bad. Please be patient. Likely a few days.
What kind of... okay, you know what? She's saying all of this while perched on top of the Grim Reaper statue, staring directly down at all of you. I'm just calling it right now. You know what fucking happened? He pulled the souls out of the sword, which gave him enough power that he then tried to face down against Embarin, and now the entire capital is on fire. I'm just calling it now.
Well, you were specific enough that so it's definitely not exactly that. So I look forward to my.
I think she's
glowing
ballpark.
later
That's very, very plausible.
on. Well, ballpark doth but no parsnips.
Well, our only other options are either Tio and Cadavers can figure out a way out of this, or we have to call up some mage who can help us, or we start digging. I don't know.
Tio, call upon
I'm
your
doing
god.
my best. I'm laying out everything for divination.
Chop, chop.
Don't mean to rush you, but likely things are afoot now that the last of these mage fragments is dead, and we may not have enough time.
I'm doing my best
Aurelia.
with very limited options.
You just stand here.
Tio, my heart could go at any moment. I have a narrative to finish out here.
All right, I'm casting.
Oh, and Beth, we're gonna go with it.
Okay.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
boy.
I'm casting divination.
The magical. You put your offering out. You contact your god or a god's servant. You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. Please detail your question.
How do we get out of hell?
Front door.
Rao, you know.
Whoa.
What
Are
I'm
you about to
looking
lecture
for.
Ralph?
No, he's praying.
You know!
He's praying. He's an 11th level cleric. He's allowed to have an attitude.
I see.
You're like
Gods
middle
love when their vessels are often really,
Uppity.
ungrateful and outrageously inappropriate. That's fine. That's great. Did you want to add to that question or and only append, because you've already said what you've said. But
How
did you
do
wanna-
I get these people out of hell soon with what I have?
Okay. And this takes...
Have
No
you
problem
tried
at
turning it
all.
off again and then turning it back on?
Yes, we did that with Jesse.
It worked.
She's
We
still...
did a full factory
When's the
reset on
last
Jesse.
time you did divination? It hasn't been within a day or two.
No. Been within a week, maybe.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
It literally says long rest now that I see that. Okay, so
We did it
the
right before hell, but
the answer comes from one of the angels of Rel. So you would assume, and in your head rings out the following: there are many ways to breach the planes, but what you're capable of currently cannot remove you from your current location. You must either gain in knowledge or gain in object that will open up the gate.
Thank you.
No problem.
Theo, did you?
Don't mention it. Don't mention it. Hey,
Hey, it's fine. What's up?
it's all right.
How much thought did you put into that orb?
Thought?
Did you?
Did I
Are
think
you
about it?
certain you're aware of its capabilities?
Well, I could try again. Always.
What did your god tell you to do?
My god said it's not within the current reaches of my power. I need an object or more knowledge to get us out of here.
Your god just called you a fucking idiot.
I'm young and I am inexperienced
I did not call
in
you
certain
that. Don't.
areas.
Have you tried just praying a little bit harder, Tio?
You saw me spit. I prayed hard.
Is that
Doesn't sound like praying.
That's disgusting?
Anyway,
What's wrong with you?
I could try.
What about the orb? Can you guess
I could
what
try
we need
standing. I could try standing on the orb, or not standing on it, but
No.
I could try using it and suffer the consequences, which I think I could do.
What is it that you need, Tio?
They didn't specify.
But what do you think you need? You just said you need something.
Well, I think that my first instinct is to need a spell scroll. My second instinct is to need
A second
that ball.
instinct?
No. There are things in hell that will teleport us, like what we encountered before. That sphere.
So just to summarize what your god told you, gain knowledge. Do you have any way, does the party possess any way for you to change your knowledge base?
We should
then
just
number
go
two-
to a TED Talk from Jesse.
TED Talk, Gates of Hell. Oh, this guy's going to be on here for a while. Hold on. You know how they just monologue?
That is what a TED Talk is.
Like they could be summarized in 3 minutes, but they take an hour.
I mean, do you have access to any? I mean, you can change your magic around, right? Is there any other magic that you have access to that could fix this?
I mean, don't you like worship a god of knowledge or something? Shouldn't knowledge be readily available?
I do, but there's a certain. He's also the god of logic, so there's a certain way that things come to us. It's not normally out of order.
Seems very useless.
He's not a god of ambition.
Yep.
He's a god of patience.
Your god now lets you know that he doesn't give out gifts for free, especially when your friends are so ungrateful. Oh, what?
I would like to hunter's
Proud,
mark
you're still
him.
there.
Oh, wow. I can commune. I can summon a celestial. I can.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't do it, surely they could.
I can.
Or enough of them. Or you can eat them for more power or something.
Okay.
That's how clerics work.
So this is quite the moment. We'll let our players, TOA, and anyone else who wants to chime in, think about this over a 5-minute break so that we can then attack the problem at hand and possibly get to the very last page of this arc.
Wait a minute.
See you in 5 minutes. Bonk.
Honk.
No.
No, I think you should phrase
save-
it like a whiny, petulant child. Clearly,
I
this
like-
devotion thing hasn't been working for us.
My favorite part is the way you thought you can pay the angel directly and not go to a temple to do it.
I literally said the Celestial would like you to donate to a temple. Didn't you guys hear me say that?
Nope.
See, would
I
like
heard
you
hand them the gold in an unmarked bag.
A brown paper bag, like what you buy liquor with.
No, the Celestial wants you to donate to a temple.
Yeah, we'll do that
Along
once
those
we
lines.
get
It
back.
can also be.
No, how about this? We have so much
I'm not
gold,
saying that
but
like we can't do it. I'm saying
we
that's.
can't
that's
donate
what-
it to a temple because we can't get to a temple. So it would just help your religion so much if we could donate all of this. But you know we can't. So this is on you. This is on you, Angel.
Why are
It is-
you doing this?
It is your biblical obligation to do this now. 'Cause
I don't
that's
even know.
what the Bible says.
I don't even
Fantasy
know
Bible.
what kind of creatures that Rao can send though.
All right, option 2. We find a small child on the material plane.
Are we back, by the way?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Oh yeah.
so we find a
I'm
small
just
child.
chowing down. Yum, yum, yum.
Maybe we should look at 2 or 3 and just like pick the best and the brightest. And we sponsor them to go to wizard school and we just like pay their full tuition. And we wait for them to grow up until they learn whatever spell it is we need. And then they cast it.
And then we hope that they're not like those ungratefully rich kids. Macklin Jr., what the? No!
We chose the wrong kid.
Option 3, we steal something with the orb that helps us.
And risk the orb in current disrepair.
It's fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, it could like.
If Kayla dies,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That would be tragic. If Tio dies,
It kills me through the stream.
That's right.
He kills you in real life.
It's like the ring.
You know, like
If you die in a dream, you die in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear it fast enough.
No. You
I
likely
just
said
said
it
your
first.
joke louder.
You did.
I'm sorry.
You're a loud person. That's
My
fine.
microphone's turned all the way up. Okay.
All right. So the question now becomes, now that we're all back, and I know that we're back. Well, we've probably been back for a while, as we conjecture. What's the party doing? Are there any non-Tio suggestions?
I'm gonna start digging.
I'm still perched on top of the garbage.
You're like,
on top of
really
the
hard to
river.
do through this solid stone.
I would
Every
say
time I'm like perched, like with like kind of on my tiptoes on the top of the head, and every time somebody talks, I like shuffle a little bit so I'm pointed exactly towards whoever's talking, and then when the next person talks, I like rotate again, and then eventually she slips and like falls entirely off the statue, and then right before she hits the ground, like flips over and lands in a perfect like 3-point.
So I would like to mention, now does Aurelia have what kind of armor? Any at all? None at all? Do you have a
Her
cloak
for her
on?
strength of will, she is wearing a cloak of protection.
Okay. By the time you've perched and changed 3 times, the cloak has extended itself, much like spawns as it comes in, just because this huge tapestry of fabric, and by the time you fall, it twirls around and is back to normal size.
wow, that was very
Edgy,
fortuitous.
yes. I was
I
going to
would
say
say-
Batman, but Spawn's cloak is just better.
I would say that there's no one I'd rather be stuck in hell with, but that is only half true
I mean,
because
I want to wish
yeah,
it on my other friends
go,
too.
go ahead. What I'm gonna say is likely going to demoralize and distract you.
okay. I just would like to be able to be here with my wife, maybe.
Do you think your wife has some sort of, beat on how we could get out?
I imagine not, but I can ask.
Well, then she wouldn't be very useful to be here with, then.
Well, you're right.
Tio, focus.
I am already doing that.
All right, Tio. Think of it this way. What is the one thing that you are going to need? If you had to pick one item that you
I
got,
don't know.
and I was to tell you that you have 30 minutes before I'm going to kill you to escape.
I don't know what can break us out of hell. I physically do not.
Tio, focus.
What?
Focus.
29 minutes.
I mean, I can beseech Rao again.
If I could help you
Again?
magically, I would. So I'm going to give you some other motivation. What about Aurelia? Do you value her life more than yours? Should I threaten her instead?
Gizen.
Just trying to frame this in a way that stimulates thought.
Just for the record, I don't appreciate you threatening my life.
It's... Yeah, I would actually probably go through
about
with
you,
it.
Aurelia.
Yes, Gissen, I know.
But, I mean, it would be for the good of everyone, would bring you back with us.
Greater good.
Dead?
Oh, yeah.
No. We know how to make people not dead. Tio.
Tio has walked over to a less aggressive area of the room and is now kneeling on the ground and is like bowing down, plants his forehead on the ground, and he's praying, and he's casting Planar Ally. I don't think he knows it though.
All right. Click it for our friends, shall we?
Did it not do that? Hello? Hang on.
If there's 7 versions coming.
Should be 1.
Jesus.
Okay, friends, read that at home. Enjoy. Planar Ally is quite a few paragraphs.
It is.
So, you have beseeched an otherworldly entity for aid. Which otherworldly
Is
entity that
Rao.
you know?
Tio
Okay.
is
The
back.
god Rao.
Yes.
God of
He's saying,
knowledge.
I need more. I need more. I am not enough to work with what you gave me. Please
Ask for somebody to teach you.
help me. I need someone to show me how. I think he says that over and over again for 10 minutes. Which is what the casting time is.
No problem at all.
Garoost falls out the sky. Hi.
And for 10 minutes, you are casting. Is anyone doing it in this time, or we're just going to resolve it?
I'm gonna run up this statue and I'm gonna perch on this one's
Resolve.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Your planar ally resolves. Let me bring this right on. Oh, that's not a thing anymore? What are they called? Archons? What's the angels called nowadays?
Planar?
Well, I
There's
literally looked that
Agathions.
up and it's not on there. Planars?
Planar. Oh wait, no, it's a spell. Planar ally, planar barn. I guess just search D&D Beyond for Celestial.
Yeah, I'll find something celestial real quick.
I mean, there's
Let's
not
do
that many Celestials, so.
There's not. So
What is
we're
the
gonna
thing
go
I was-
to
Oh,
monsters.
Diva? Deva?
Oh, Deva. That's
There's
Imperial.
planetars too.
Empyrean Planetar, that was the one I was
Well,
trying to
Deva's
think
here.
Agathions.
of. Solar. That's
Perfect.
another one.
Appearing at the doorway, walking through it as if a bright flash of light were announcing its presence, as indeed the symbols glow
over here, by the way.
briefly. And this person walks through, and he just... Now, just to let you know, this is the picture for the Deva.
But this guy's gonna be such a diva.
It is. It's true. How do I link the image? Oh, I have to go.
You just
into
went
it.
full
Click.
Karen on the other
Click.
guy that you talked
There
to
we go.
earlier. You're like, I need to speak to the manager.
But I said that to the manager.
Okay, so that's a very good representation of what you see here
Wow.
as this
He's dreaming.
angel comes through the doorway. He just takes a moment, looks around, sees you, Tio, and smiles and says, I have been bidden to impart knowledge. What do you seek?
Thank you for coming.
It was obligatory.
Thank you anyway. We're trapped down here and I don't know enough to get us out. There's an orb in the other room that I've used something like it before, but it's broken. The person we were relying on to get us out of here has failed us. And I'm without spells or knowledge to get us out.
He frowns as he continues to survey the area. You can tell that almost with every breath, he's like, it's nasty here. He seems at unease, but says, I believe I can help for the proper donation to our library.
We'll pay, regardless of what it is. We have the means.
The mighty Rao stands atop the pinnacle of all knowledge. What he seeks is not monetary in nature, but rather a tome of great importance to add to the library so that those underneath him, like myself or the other librarians, or the many in our flock, that can learn from as they come to the afterlife.
I'll write it myself if I need be. We have many forgotten secrets that we've found here.
Rao has something specific in mind.
Oh, thank God.
My mind.
Chronicle the secrets of Jesse's mind.
Thought for a moment we're gonna have to wait for Tio to write a book.
As we have a jar that says abnormal. Yes, your brain shall be.
Well, Abby normal?
Abby someone. Indeed. Rao seeks the missing histories that have been taken away from the worlds at hand. The worlds that you come from.
Oh, the dragon thing?
Indeed.
Yes.
So can we just like write down what we know? And is that
I mean, we can give
like
you
kind of the vibe?
Your first person accounts, while
thorough.
something,
I don't know. I said I had a dragon vision.
no culture goes without recording their own fate. Visit again the mountain and find the lost tomes.
All right, just take us right there, and we'll get right on that.
Forgive us, we're at our wits' end.
Impatience does not help out your situation. However,
I mean, we pay by
I
the hour,
can.
don't we?
I can indeed bring you to where you'd like to go. You may not leave the mountain until the task is fulfilled, but your allies are free to do so.
Oh, perfect.
We'll stay.
See you, Dio. It's been fun.
Is this
No.
acceptable?
Yes. Please
Yes.
get us out of hell.
As he seems to not be responding to everyone else's chatter.
It is well with me.
Excellent. Then, gather your things. And behold, as he steps back, waves his hand at the portal there, which now indeed has that same bright, shining light that he appeared in, but it stays there.
You all go through first.
I go through.
Not as in, I want you to see what happens on the other side, but as in, I care about you and want you to go before me.
Already through.
He just says it to empty air.
Everybody's gone.
They're all gone.
I go in last.
And as you go in last, he simply says, please ensure your end of the bargain is upheld.
I'll make it my
And-
life mission.
He goes, indeed it is. And he leaves, or as you travel through, you get the feeling that the portal behind you is closing as if you were just pushed through a door that was shut. And you are now, all of you, at the pinnacle of the Undermountain for the dwarves
In Vincaridan?
in Vincaridan.
Where are we in Vincaridan? Under the Undermountain, but where?
The
Are we,
pinnacle of the Undermountain.
are we in that?
Is that
At
the
the-
temple?
The
Ash,
top of
or
it,
are we-
where once
Where Jesse
a
tried to
long
fly.
time ago, Jesse flew through the air majestically.
She didn't try to fly. She did.
I did fly.
Well, now she actually can fly, so.
I flew like a bird.
Right, great. So if I were hidden tomes of knowledge, where would I be?
In the library.
Is there a library?
Tio, do you think you could ask your god where?
A certain level of expectation of a cleric of knowledge that we have a thirst for knowledge and not thirst for answers necessarily.
Wait, are you
So-
able to do
The
the thing
books-
that you just did again
Tioe,
to get the thing
Yes.
that you need?
this is the knowledge that's been imparted upon you rather divinely. The books that you uncover must be brought to a temple of Rao or the great basilica of the nation of Astad,
Okay.
where they can then be
Instated.
But
correct.
Tio can't leave, so.
Until you have
We
the
can't
book, yes.
Until we have them.
Oh, until you have the book.
All right,
Yes.
so we're at the top of the mountain. This is where that like big blown out cathedral was, right?
Not quite at the top as the cathedral, no. This was actually the king's castle. Where
This is where
you
the zombie
entered
beholder
the
was.
throne room
right?
and went down and found the first
Revenant?
beholder and the revenant
Ah!
and literally talked to King Promrock.
Okay.
Were there books there? I mean, it seems
There
like
was
the
none.
castle should have a library.
There were none. No.
Did we go through the
Oh.
entire castle? I mean, it seems like where do you keep books in like a library or a?
Who's the person that records all the things that happen?
The scribe? Or something.
That's you, Holly.
Where's the holly?
I would like to take Holly's notes and hand them to God.
What is this drivel? This is all conjecture.
It really is.
It like goes like
Prediction.
years into the future with like prophecy.
Look, I'm looking at my notes actually. Back when I actually took them. Look, I'm looking.
I would think that they'd be in either a cathedral or locked away.
The
in a-
cathedral would certainly have much in the way of written thing, but you don't know about the history maybe of the wars or the peoples, whatever it might be.
Right.
It might be very much spread out where you might find some here, some there, etc., etc. So the question becomes, this is just a matter of time as you must explore the mountain. The dwarves have made it accessible. There is indeed now a bridge that spans the chasm at the very top. Dwarven built the last. And you have access to wherever your heart's desire. And there's that indignant dwarf off to the side. It's like, oh, look at these people just showing up out of nowhere. Just go
Maybe-
ahead and-
Uh,
let's see. Mute
We need
every
to summon
game
the
session.
Dragonborn Wisp. Just kidding. The High Cleric. The High Cleric!
the High Cleric. We spoke with the High Cleric in Aurelia.
Yep.
I did get possessed.
They
I
were
remember
dismissed. They were dismissed through. I didn't let them. Raoul let them pass.
You know how Aragorn couldn't get that army of undead back?
They're
They've
back
been
in the
put
fold.
at rest.
Yeah. I mean,
So the question is, what sections would you like to do, and how long would the party stay here, knowing that there's other things that are maybe time sensitive?
right.
I mean, can't you just cast a spell and find the thing?
I could try locating an object. That's right. I don't have that prepared.
Remember that these were magically removed from memory.
Okay. I guess I can find it.
So
Okay.
cast it twice?
Oh, well, that's
It's- all
Well, you
effects,
put it that
all
way.
effects in D&D stack, I believe. So
it's
How
a
long-
magnitude issue. If you have 4 magnitude locate objects, which is 4 of those, versus a 3 hide, you're gonna find it.
yeah.
I don't. I have to stay here until I find it. Do you all want me to stay here or go with you? Because if you want me to go with you, I have to find them.
This will go faster if we all just look for the stupid books.
I look for the
Alright.
books.
Look for the books.
Fantastic. Any specific areas? I heard cathedral. I heard.
Definitely looking at the. I know there's a cathedral that we fought the High Cleric and the other disturbed spirits in.
Mm-hmm.
That have been
The
laid to
hidden
rest.
room under the chair.
There's that room. That
I'm gonna
the
go
Revenant
down-
is still inside. Did we take care of the Revenant, or is it just like put on pause?
It's stuck underneath that slab.
I can't remember. There was a lot that
Just
happened that
failing
session.
strength check after strength check.
It's just like
I'm gonna
no, that was destroyed.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go down to the archaeological dwarf society and explain our problem and say where would they keep books or records or things of this? Have they
Please roll
inquired
me.
if they found anything?
Now, mind you, this is going to take some time. You have to travel down.
Yeah,
There's lots
yeah.
of- But please roll me in that effort. Gives them his best persuasion.
No!
Oh no.
Our party face, right?
Hey.
And the conversation that you have with the archaeologists are simply met with excitement. Like, so there's untold books. There's a god that has given you the
No, not me.
the
no.
knowledge of it, that they exist. That
Yeah,
there's
they're here somewhere.
then my team is at your service. We shall
Right.
come immediately.
All of them. Yep, we're gonna need everyone. This is, except for him. He made a weird noise earlier. I don't trust him.
It's like, but I had 2 bowls of stew and beer.
Yes, and I mean, 500 gold to whoever finds it first.
Right. The rest of you, however, can roll your investigations if you'd like, and tell me exactly where you're at when you roll them.
Okay.
I'm going to devote my attention to the church.
Church, check.
Okay.
I'll be in ye old royal attic.
So there's the under room, the throne room, and the cathedral. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Because I don't remember very clearly what we.
The
There was a place with,
ancient
like,
book
ash.
room.
Is there? I don't remember seeing a library. Is there a library that we?
That you've never run across one now.
Okay.
Ooh, there's a bunch of books in the room where we let Asteris go.
All the way at the bottom. Yeah.
Way
Underneath
down
the
there.
tower. Oh no, not us. That's not.
The
That's in
portal
hell.
place?
Asteris went in. No, yeah. Where you
That was in
revealed him
hell.
was in hell.
No.
The first
was-
time you ran into Asteris,
That was
and
that
turned
in
into mist,
between realm with the bearded
That was
devils.
Xeranos.
Right.
That was the jail where you got stuck in coffins.
Oh, I've already made it down. Oh, hold on.
I don't
we'll go
think
to
they wouldn't
Yeah.
they wouldn't put it there.
Aurelia,
unless
you gave me a
taken.
good location. Give me your investigation if you don't mind.
Okay. All right, folks.
Just to let you know, DC's going to be 20.
Nailed
No.
it.
There we go. Oh, you're +0. That's
I'm plus
unfortunate.
0. This
I
is
didn't
not. This
know
is
that
not.
part.
This is not the praise. Is not what it really is good for.
I was like, I
Did you
can't
find-
find it.
Yeah, it's like immediately.
Did you find a book? No, but I did find where one dwarf wrote, I am here, or was here, on the wall in chalk.
There's just still a dwarf there, just like finishing it.
No, he's just standing there. Huh? That's me.
Okay.
It's about me.
I'll look in the throne room. I don't think it's gonna be there, but I can't think of another location. I actually, you know what? I think Tio would just go look in the cathedral because that's where I've been thinking. But Aurelia was there, so he'd, I guess, let her go first, and then
Then not trust her. Got you. Go ahead.
he knows her well. Wow. Wow.
So Cadaverous would go with them and do it just because he thinks he can do better. It's gonna end horribly for me. No!
Wow, we're all like, it's so bright up here because we were, you know,
The
In a
dwarves do
place.
keep the place well lit now.
yeah.
But go on. Jesse, where would Jesse be? Everyone went, like, I'm going to the church. And then, like, after Aurelia left, Tia's like, I'm going to the church. And then slowly you see Cadaverous. No, you guys are going to mess it up. I'll go to the church.
The hidden room where the king and queen were buried.
Okay. So you go down to the king and queen. Please roll me your investigation.
Let me make sure this is unclicked.
Come on, Jesse. Roll
That'd
higher
be
than
a
all of us.
6.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
6,
High for
Excellent.
me for investigation.
See, you guys are doing this all wrong. You're trying for a single good roll. I'm trying for as many rolls as possible. You know who's gonna roll a 20? 800 dwarves are gonna eventually roll a 20.
Well, it is a small team numbering less than 10, but they will indeed reduce the investigation DC to 15 after this. So, as Gislin comes a few hours later with a bunch of dwarves in tow, you all meet up. You can hear them coming up that big circular street that's been swept clean of all of the rubble.
Are they singing?
And is, they're not quite hi-hoing it, no, but they're up very obviously as they pass the cathedral. You three fall in line and you make it up to the pinnacle again, where Jesse has come back from just underneath the throne room where the buried king and queen. And Jesse's like, I found a mess. And so the dwarves will, in small teams, join you, so making any investigation rolls down to a 15.
Okay. I'm looking in the throne room next.
Throne room itself, or the room underneath? The tomb, or the...
I'll,
the
you know
throne
what?
room
I'll go
itself?
down into the tomb.
Okay, the tomb.
I don't
Yeah.
remember any of these places.
I'm also gonna guidance myself.
The tomb is where you fought the Revenant, as was
I am.
discussed.
Oh, 20.
20.
I'm
We'll deal
also
with that in
guidancing myself just because
One second, we'll deal with that.
Yeah.
Where is everyone else looking?
I'm gonna search in the cathedral because I think it would be hilarious if I just find it in the cathedral after everyone's searched.
It's true. It's true.
Are there any sort of like living quarters in the castle?
I found... Oh!
Stop making up new places, Dora.
There are living quarters, as you may remember, from a certain circular map. There are housing and living quarters throughout the journey upwards.
No, but I mean like what would have been like personal rooms for the king and queen.
Ah, so you're trying to find a throne's... All right, well, fair enough. There's some dwarves lead you the way. This is a place that you hadn't been before, but this is the what they determined to be the private chamber of the king and queen of the mountain.
Okay, I'm gonna look there.
You may do so.
need to pee really bad. I'll be right back.
No.
Okay, and you're like, well, that bed looks like it's petrified. It doesn't look comfortable at all. Cadaverous.
Yes. I will.
Understood.
I will go to the under rooms. Just look there.
Under
I will-
rooms?
Didn't you say it was the under room? Under rooms? Under ream?
Underneath the... Are you talking about under the throne? In the crypt?
I don't care what room I'm in. Give me an arbitrary room for me to roll in, so let's find this book. I will go from one room to another searching.
Alright.
I will even... Can I guidance? I can't, I'm a bard.
You
Here,
can't
I'm gonna
inspire
roll.
yourself.
I'm just
Jesse, where are you going to go?
gonna
Go ahead.
nat 20 really
You,
quick.
you can roll.
Jesse, remember, the faster you find the book, the faster we kill Maglin.
Yeah, I'm trying, but you know, books aren't really my thing.
But killing
Or
is.
What about where was it that we encountered the dragonborn wisps things that are possessed Aurelia?
That was the cathedral.
Okay, that's already been.
Everyone else has been there, but you have not.
Okay, I'll go there.
Go right ahead.
Nailed it.
Getting better. 7.
Okay. So, Aurelia, Gislin, Bethany. I'm sorry, not Bethany, but Cadaverous and Jesse. You've all come up once again empty-handed. But the two dwarves that are with you, TOA, watch you go into the king's area again. The bones that have been cataloged and marked, there's all these little like pins and notes nearby and this, that, and the other thing.
And it looks so beautiful to
And there's
Teal.
a small like dwarven table that's been installed here so they can bring stuff here and write things down, etc. The inkwell and a nice big drawer so they can bottle what they need to, etc., etc. And as you look further and further at the very tomb of the king himself, the bones once again rattle, shake, and up sits this undead king.
An honor to speak with you again.
And the
sir.
dwarves are like, oh no! And they take a very safe, but curiosity keeps them in the area distance. They're just like,
You will come and kneel down in front of him.
Thank God this was Tio, because nobody else speaks dragon.
Jesse almost was there.
adventurers who were helping to bring justice to that which happened to my kingdom. Welcome again.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I need your help.
My soul
Again.
moved to the heavens themselves, but was cast back here for a brief moment. There's
I'm sorry,
songs
to
about
hear this.
those who have saved the golden dragon. It rings in the heavens. How can
Wow.
I be of assistance?
I need your help finding the tomes of your people so that we can commit them to the halls and annals of history.
Everything from the mundane to our great scholarly works can be found in the great library, but I fear it was destroyed during the upheaval. All that likely remains are the personal effects that can be found in the king's bedchamber. There's a hidden panel. Seek it out. Find my personal library behind it. It is humble considering the great breadths of our kingdom, but it may suffice.
All knowledge is worth something, Your Majesty. Is there any specific way to get into that library? Your secret one.
It is a simple mechanical hidden panel.
I pray that I am intelligent enough to figure it out. Thank you, Your Majesty.
It's not a matter of intellect, it's a matter of morality. You've been blessed to do this, so go do this. And with that, the bones kind of unceremoniously drop again. The spirit once again completely gone from it.
Teal will kind of walk back up the stairs very slowly.
The dwarf's like, no.
Shaking.
We don't speak Draconic. And they just bring out pages. What did he say? Word for word. Is he coming back? Is it dangerous? What's the deal? Do we need to bring a cleric in? Jardine's been missing for weeks. Or for a while now.
Rest assured, we're trying to solve that. We don't know exactly what happened with him, but we have a lead.
Wait, that's what?
As soon as I know.
No.
That was unrelated.
No.
And
we're gonna need word for word.
Tio will share as they walk back up the stairs, but he's making
No.
sure
They're sitting
moving.
at that little desk.
He's moving. He's going away.
No. The other one's like trying to stop you. No. We need. You don't understand.
There are protocols that you have in place.
NPC.
There are protocols that I have in place, and I need to follow these protocols. So he's going to go find the party.
The other dwarf is literally carrying the desk behind him. Wait! You don't even know the way, by the way.
Anthropologists. He's just trying to beeline back to the party.
You finally run into a bunch of them having once again come up with nothing.
It's not in the cathedral.
Not in the bedrooms.
You went into the bed. Okay, take me back to the bedrooms. I don't know where those are.
No, I searched those like top to bottom. There's nothing there.
Did you find any
for it to be there.
secret hidden panels? Because Palmarok himself came down from the heavens and spoke to me.
That sounds fake.
Jesse, they are singing songs of the people that defeated or saved the gold dragon, not defeated them.
The dwarf's like, the lyrics of those songs, please.
He didn't tell me. He didn't have time. Because he was in paradise and we interrupted his rest, but it was important enough. Take me to the bedchambers.
I mean, that's great that we got songs about us, but I don't know. I've never been there.
I mean, really, I searched them already.
Up the dirty passages, still very dusty and not very well traveled. You find staircases that lead upward and over to what appears to be the housing areas for those people that lived in the castle ever so long ago. At the end of the hall, you see the double doors that have been already opened, and just freshly so, as you come to the king's chamber.
Okay. Said it was somewhere around here.
Now, you should let your friends talk to find the walls. What we can do is talk about the first-hand account of the Dragonborn language that was spoken just now.
Okay.
Really, I already searched it. It's not in here, Tia.
Solid wall.
No, I need to do this myself. It is ordained that I do this.
Oh.
And he's going to start slapping the walls trying to find something. I am trying to investigate as best as I can.
I will help you.
Thank you. I'm also going to guidance myself because I can, and I will. You help me, right, Gislin?
Yes, I am proficient in investigation.
Okay, there's a total of 22.
22's enough. As you finally find a panel that looks like the dust has almost sealed this door, and it takes some effort to push. But once you do push it, like any good bookcase, it almost crushes you.
Oh, okay.
As on the other side is a bookcase, and Frankenstein gets wedged.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Frankenstein's monster or Frankenstein?
Both of them.
The doctor.
Meanwhile, I'm just kidding.
And the dwarves are like, jackpot.
And
there's a very small shelf that contains about 20 books, and there's about 5 of those shelves the entire thing. So you're looking at over 100 books, all written in ancient Dragonborn, and the dragon and the yeah.
And Tio is being very careful, but he's making a beeline to whatever the thickest book is, because I imagine he would think that it would be one of those.
Yes, homemade recipes, perfect.
Just like
Just a smattering
just
of
like
notes.
the Dragonborn Queen used to be.
Yes, so you're able to find the tomes. The dwarves will assist in packaging them safely for moving to the Great Basilica or where you designate. You are considered heroes of the land, so they are indeed following your stead. They're not fighting you. I mean, they want to. They're like, you sure you can't just leave them here with us? We'll just take good care of them.
He was very firm about where it has to go.
This
Which
is
is
the
the
Dwarven
Basilica.
Kingdoms. Technically, Astad doesn't have any jurisdiction
We can
here.
say that it will be on loan. It will be taken very good care of, and I'm sure that after a certain time has passed, Ra will allow it to come back.
After eternity, they can just come
Yes.
back. And...
Who just
this era
tamed
is gone.
that griffin?
Does he find anything? Or is it all just like, is it all helpful?
It's all very good.
Okay, that's good.
You have completed, as long as you deliver, you're part of the quest. Or you're part of the bargain.
Please leave the campaign.
But
You
you
have
know,
completed the campaign.
TOA, you know that you have to go there directly.
Okay.
Like, you can't first go take care of Maglin.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Tio,
Now, here's another problem for the party to deal with. Maglin was here with the gate spell for you guys to move through to hell. Maglin's not to be found right now,
right.
but conventionally, it shall take, even at a very rushed pace, likely more than 2 weeks to get to the capital.
I think it's scry time. We don't know where he is right now.
You do not.
I think we should go to the capital. Wasn't that where this machine was? Cadaverous?
It was in his house, his laboratory.
Which was in the
I took a
capital?
magic circle there.
I mean, Tia, if you have to see these to the Basilica, that's not that far from the capital.
It's
It's
not.
not. It's very
only
close.
a day. Right.
We could send a little bit of a forward envoy, and you can reconnect with us.
That sounds good.
Perhaps we can buy a few more diamonds on the way out.
We do have the means to do that.
Is there a way to use that magic circle?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Timur, would I be able to operate a magic circle as a bard?
Yes, you can operate the magical circle, but you have to.
Do I remember the? I don't know exactly how it works. Do I know the address of the other side of the magic
All
circle?
right, so here, I'll link it for you guys real quick.
I don't like the teleport spell.
So the magic circle makes a gate spell permanent, right? So it changes the duration.
You're talking about teleportation circle,
Hold
not
on.
magic circle. Magic circle is a totally different spell. Magic circle is like this cylinder that prevents creatures from.
Yeah, that's true. That's against, like, when you want to bind a fiend or something.
Yeah, teleportation circle is the, teleporter pad.
All right, so the teleportation circle has its own way of being permanent. I'm going to display it for you guys real quick. This is just FYI. It takes quite a while to establish a meaningful teleportation circle, etc., etc. It looks like Maglin has either spent the time or somebody Maglin knows has spent the time to do it. Now, you believe that with a high enough arcane check, you can activate it.
I can maybe get us there. I need your guidance, I need your help, and I need to be really lucky.
Okay, well, I can help you. I don't like the idea of sending you into your death.
Well, I mean, we'll go with him.
Or sending us into our death.
I'm sending you to your death.
Understand that this circle, the one in the house, was tiny, and it was one at a time. You may recall.
So wait, what's happening? I know we're going to the city, and we're going to the Basilica.
We're going to teleportation circle straight into his house.
Okay. I think we should send Jesse or I through first. Or maybe
I completely disagree with you.
Why?
I will go first.
I think we should scry on him before we go through.
I think that is a very wise idea.
That's fine. Go ahead.
And I'm going to sit down right here, and I'm going to start doing it. And he's going to pull out that mirror and start scrying on.
Cadavras, you would have spent enough time with Maglin to know that scrying will fail if he's at that location specifically.
Scrying will fail if he's at that location specifically.
It's kind of like trying to scry on the under library or Imbaran's tower.
He's not a fool.
Right.
But if he's not in that location, then we may see him.
Correct.
And if we don't see him, then that's.
Well, hold on. Well, why don't we go to the place we think he's going to be first? And if he's not there, then we can scry.
Because we're going in with no information right now. We're going in completely blind.
I mean, we did just go into hell completely blind.
Okay, let me...
And we almost died. Jesse did.
Hold on, let me spell it out for you here. If we scry on him, and he's in the location we're going to, we cannot scry on him. If we scry on him and he's somewhere else, then he's not in the location we're going to. So if we go to the location we're going to, scrying won't help us anyway.
Not to go into the room unless you come and get
me. So what I'm saying is,
where are you going?
Go first.
We're going with you. No.
Okay.
And if he's not there, then we scry.
All right.
Excellent. Fantastic.
Jesse, get your dragon tongue ready.
Leave it in
right here on my hip at all times.
I hate that.
The dwarves would like to know what you would like to do with these books. They're happy to crate them up for you.
Do I get the feeling that would be acceptable to Rao if I don't go with them immediately, and if I make sure that I'm there when they're reinstating them? Or is it like a...
could you rephrase that in English? I misunderstood that.
Does Tio need to be with them, the dwarves, or can he go with the party?
For delivery, you have to follow through. You're the one that has to deliver it.
Okay. So
like I said, you cannot deal with Maglin first.
Does anyone know if there's a teleportation circle at this Basilica thing? Seems like a place there'd be a teleportation circle.
There probably is, but we have to know the teleportation circle, if I'm understanding correctly. You have to know about it before you can go.
Any dwarven wizards that can help us? God, we should have just bought a wizard.
Fair point.
Excuse me. I'll pull aside a dwarf.
Are you a wizard? No?
No.
Excuse me, are you a wizard? No.
4 dwarves come leaning on in.
Do you have a... I know that Jardine was the cleric of... Forgive me, I don't know.
Dwarves.
It's been a long time. Thank you. But do you have a wizard or an arcane caster among your ranks here?
There's a few that dabble in the arcane arts, but very few, and
all right,
to very little notoriety.
Has anyone else, maybe not a dwarf, come through?
Why are we getting a wizard again?
Well, just in case they know of a different location.
Anywho, what's your point? We can get. We could get you any kind of dwarven ingenuity to fix whatever problem it is you have.
We need to
We
get
are
to
trying-
the basilica as fast as possible.
Yes.
Giant catapult. All right.
I'm down.
Right.
We're
We
dealing
can
with
fly.
material here. Not only us, but books.
Hmm.
Is there another
catapults.
way?
Catapult and lash on pillows. Understood.
Thank you for your time. I'll give you 5 gold.
But
For your...
that wasn't worth 5 gold, Tio.
It felt like it. Look, we're rolling in money. I don't even remember the worth of money anymore.
Every dwarf. What's that? My
We
whole
could
life's
just-
accumulating money.
Why
What's
don't we
the-
just bring the books with us to... I mean, if you teleport from here to Maglin's house, you're going to be a hell of a lot closer to delivery than you
I
are
agree.
now.
Let's
So-
go to Johnny's house.
Still not a violation of whatever your angelic pact is.
Here, your books.
Except
Well-
that if something happens to the books, or if we get into some sort of drawn out fight with Maglin,
Oh, it's
Right.
not going to be drawn out.
Michaela, you get the feeling. I'm sorry, TOA gets the feeling that were something happened to the books, or were something happened to where you cannot uphold your end of that bargain, that it would all be undone, and likely whomever's left would be back where you were. That's just perfect for Rao. Oh, you didn't do this? Logically, this happens.
Mhm.
Kind of stuff, right?
Okay.
Mouse logically a dick.
I think that I need to go on my own.
Well, good luck.
It's a 2-week journey, Tio. If you go through this
What other-
teleportation
what
circle,
other
it's going-
alternative-
Wait,
just go through the teleportation circle.
wait. Oh, that. Decide, are you coming through the teleportation circle? Decide now, yes or no.
What?
Are you coming through the teleportation circle? Yes or no.
I can't give you a yes or no answer to something I
Yes, you
haven't-
can.
No, I can't. No.
do
it's
we
no,
have
it's
access to a
no.
teleportation
Okay, fine.
circle in the
Yes, Johnny's house.
basilica?
No.
I am. I do not know of a teleportation circle in the Basilica.
So no.
There may be one, but
I mean, do you have to physically carry these books all the way there?
I need to see them through, and that probably means something
God, you'd
along
think
the
a
lines of.
god of knowledge would be better at logistics than this.
He's
Please,
Crack of
Good.
thunder can be heard in this underground place.
I mean, that thing you did with the angel, do you think you could just get an angel to come and help you with this? Take the books
That-
there?
Cadaverous will spend his 4th of his spell slot to resummon his griffin.
Forgot you had.
Well, here's a griffin. Good luck. He can't talk to you, only me. Good luck.
How long does he stay around?
Until you kill him.
Okay.
Don't kill him. He's died twice
Well-
already.
In that case,
It's all shaking like one of those little dogs.
Each
Just
time he
a really
comes back a
small
little bit
bit.
more skittish.
what happened to it last time?
Got fucking like clawed to death by like a million specters or some shit.
Gosh. Okay. How long will it take Tio to fly on a griffin to the Basilica?
Much less than
Weeks.
half the time, but maybe a week, 8 days.
Okay.
Flying's a much more efficient.
Right.
There's no
It's a straight
obstacles
line.
to go
Right.
around.
No
You're like-
Yeah.
traffic.
Now, mind you, if you're off by 3 degrees, then it's long. It's more.
I trust that the griffin knows where to go.
Ah,
I'm
Oh,
married.
yes.
I'm
The
married to a
griffin,
fae.
the
I
griffin
know
who
what I'm
is summoned into existence, pulled from some other plane. Definitely.
From the
Griffin's got
Feywild?
no- You've got to direct it. It doesn't know. It's like I trust.
Okay, I'm
I
trusting
trust that my horse
Tio would
knows
be
where it's
able
going.
to know what a stud looks like to a relative degree, where he's like, "That's the
It's
ocean.
got-
I'm going this direction."
I mean, it does have Apple.
you can
Apple
definitely go
CarPlay
like
in it,
go
so-
east, and it'll figure that one out. Yeah,
It does understand common.
it does understand
good.
language.
That's good.
All right. Well, happy flying.
You all are just going in,
But
I'm not waiting a week.
right? But
2 weeks, in fact.
we've never done this without me. Not as in I'm important, but there's a certain level of I keep you alive there, you know?
Well, maybe you should have thought about that before you went making deals.
I didn't make a deal.
But
It's a responsibility.
It's sort of a deal. You are obligated to
You
fulfill
don't
your...
understand. You were married. I don't understand that.
Marriage is a deal.
We need to get your wife back.
I
But
agree.
you can't go dying before that happens.
I don't plan to.
While they're all debating this, I'm going to go off and try to buy some healing potions. At the
Okay.
realization that Tio is there.
Moving all the way from the Undermountain through the maze, which has been clearly marked, so it's easy to do now. Up the elevator through the mine, which is also clearly marked, is very easy to do, and up into the dwarven city of Vincarian. You can't help but notice there's a larger military presence than was before by some good extent, but you are able to still go to the marketplace and discover any of those basic healing potions for at value. Player's Handbook, 50 gold.
How many do they have?
I'll let you roll the d10. And this will be a scouring day or a few hours of looking around. You're able to find 2 here, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there.
All right. And what were they a piece? 50?
50.
Oh. Is there any, like, bigger, better things? Can I bribe people, pay 5 times as many for more?
If you want, I will roll once to see what's available, and that's all, because we're not going to get bogged down in shopping really quick. But let's see. Click, click.
Wait, are all these healing potions in the bag of holding things that are still here?
If they're not
Probably.
used, they
Yeah,
are
'cause
there.
We haven't been able to use them, have we?
Yeah. But I
Been
don't
using
know.
it
We
for
usually
a while.
distribute them. We have 1
Right.
potion of greater healing, 3 potions of healing. Okay, I'll just buy the 5. That's fine. I didn't know we had something. So 250 gold less. Oh darn.
Oh no.
There's 1
2.5.
potion of greater healing that would go for 300.
Sold.
Okay.
So 300 plus 250 is 550.
Right. They also are trying to sell you animal friendship potions, if you're interested.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll just take it.
This is just fine.
Oh my god, we have a spell scroll for prayer of healing? Why isn't it on your person, Tio?
A spell scroll of greater healing?
Prayer of
Prayer! That is a mass heal.
Prayer of healing is on there?
Yes, we have a spell scroll for that. Why isn't that on your person?
I don't remember that. I don't remember getting that at all.
Insult
Fantastic.
I don't know.
So, Tio, you're flying off on the Griffin?
Allegedly.
No, allegedly. I need to know.
Well, he is going to be fulfilling his responsibility, but he's really worried about the party.
Understand.
Okay,
I'm
before you
hesitating.
go.
Don't worry, I have
What?
so many healing potions now.
Tio,
Yes,
I'll try not to die without you.
please
Because
don't.
then I'll be dead. Thanks for getting
Right.
us out of hell.
You're welcome.
And be safe.
I will. I hope I see you immediately and
You
not
will.
in a funeral sort of way.
I don't want a funeral, I want a party.
Okay.
Is the
A
griffin
funeral,
is
it's
the, is the griffin can the griffin only carry 1 person at once?
I'm allowing the Griffin to carry 1 person and all of the books.
Okay.
That's a lot
That's
of
fair.
books.
It would be a bit much, but I think since it's rather creative use of what you have, why not? So saddlebags and one of those backpacks that's strung up with like medieval bungee cords.
Okay. I will.
The rest of you.
I'm going. Quickly as you can.
Going where?
To the.
No, not you. Everyone else.
Oh gosh,
I
okay.
give everybody
Jordan's house.
2 healing potions. Not Jordan's house. Give
Wait,
everybody.
Are we not going to Jordan's house?
I thought we were going to Maglin's house.
Yeah, but Jordan's house has the teleportation circle.
Oh, you're
Right.
saying an intermediate destination.
Yes.
I give everybody 2 healing potions, and then I give Cadaverous a greater healing potion, and Aurelia a greater healing potion. We don't get to decide who gets them. I'm just giving them to you.
Done. So, you've arrived at Jardane's house. It looks like there are more regular dwarves here than normal, but the servant that you recognize comes out and greets you, Cadaverous, and says, "Ah, Master Maglin said you'd be coming. Please."
Great. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Cadaverous goes in.
Cadaverous goes inside. The rest of the party?
Following.
Okay.
Fucking
You
guess.
go through a very modest home. Jardine was a give to the people kind of guy, and although he has a nice little house, it is only that. Upper middle class.
All of our money barely fits
Um,
in here.
Why is this guy calling Maglin Master?
Because he works for him.
In Jordan's
Well,
house?
Yeah.
It's time to go and kill it again.
All right. Holly, I need you to... Okay, if Jardine works for Maglin, and this guy works for Jardine, go on. Work the
I don't know.
cogs.
It sounds suspicious to me.
For ways the same as a duck.
Holly, of the
Therefore,
parts that sound suspicious, why was it that bit?
Because
Okay,
it's weird.
we're
Alright,
going.
Let's
We're
go
following.
through this portal.
In passing, the servant simply mentions that Maglin was through here less than 2 days ago, but hasn't been back.
You know where he was going?
Was he carrying anything?
Wherever the circle takes them magically.
Because
Carrying
it was 2 days ago. He didn't say anything about where he was going or why. Was there anybody
He had
with
a
him?
lot of possessions. He has a large pack full of things, sure.
What was his business here? Do you know?
I believe this one right here could tell you as they both arrived together. And he just points at Cadaverous.
Oh, wait. Cadaverous arrived here 2 days ago?
No, him and Maglin arrived 3 days ago, I think.
Yes.
Whatever
Oh,
it was.
We already know all this.
Right.
You brought into the circle room. The magical circle will require some arcana to utilize. I would also very much like you to roll
Guidance. Fuck.
When did he tell
one
you
thing
we
at a
were
time.
coming?
Oh shit.
He just
When
said, expect my friend here, Cadaverous, to return in the next few days.
And here we are.
And here you are. I didn't expect the rest of you, but I suppose wizards are a little prone to riddle.
Yes. Call us
Misdirection.
We're
unexpected
non-negotiable.
Well, that's all you can say about that. Let's just close that book. It's on that last page. Let's get out of here.
Before the lions and crows get you.
So this very small circle, you recall that Maglin used an arcana to activate it. You can do the same if you'd like, Cadaverous, or anyone else who wants to try their hand at arcana.
Do you want me to try-
Please do.
Do you want me to try first, Cadaverous, or you?
Well, you can try.
I've been practicing.
Cadaverous will bop Gislin on the back. Well, your beard's bad and shit.
See, this isn't so hard.
It looks pretty, terrible to me.
I think that's a portal.
As the magic circle shows no change whatsoever.
Step back!
It's invisible.
Back away! Away from me!
Alright. Let it be known that I warmed it up.
Fuck! Fire it off! Fucking shit!
And you find yourself at a loss for a moment.
Ah, fuck.
Mechanically, all I'm going to add is an hour per roll as you recollect your thoughts, determine what's wrong. I'd like you to roll an insight, please.
Insight. Oops.
Wait,
How's your insight,
both
Beth?
of us?
20.
No.
Does my insight help at all?
Your insults don't.
I have a high insight, so I don't know. I don't know what the insight is for. Can I vibe
Insight-
cadavers?
You cannot. Stop being Dora. Beth, Cadavers feels that
He feels bad.
if Maglin knew you were going to move this through this way, there might be a subtle change. So, you're unsure where this portal leads to.
Oh shoot.
I'm unsure where this portal leads to. But
What portal? Did you get it working?
no!
Well, then how can you be unsure where it goes? It doesn't go anywhere.
It's like I'm unsure where a door will open to, but I haven't opened the door yet, you know?
Right. How are we supposed to know where it goes until we go through it? That's the way these things work, right?
I would prefer if you would stop talking.
Well, I'd prefer if you opened the portal, but neither of us are getting
You
what we
mean like
want.
this?
And with that, another hour of attempts go by.
Cadavers, I think
Been
you're getting
2
worse
hours.
at this.
The dwarven servant comes back with drinks
Ugh.
for those who are waiting.
Can I
Here's-
try? Will that add another hour?
No, because there's nothing you can do, Jesse. Just like
What do you
Gislin,
mean?
you're not capable.
I yes, nature spells.
No, you
I-
can't cast nature spells.
I can too.
No, you can't.
I
You
do.
have to-
I've done it before.
Listen.
And I'll do it again.
Why would I need you to do it when I can just do it like this?
Well, because it's taking you a few hours.
No!
Cadavers, you're...
Gosh.
Ugh.
Get me out!
Do you have some sort of god or something you can have do this for you? This is only for divine beings. Listen,
Oh,
listen.
I don't.
No, this,
Cadaverous, you're kind of bad at this.
you're,
I'm good at helping people, not
You're-
myself.
you're doing it backwards. Here. Show me what that means, and then I'll do it.
I can't. You have no magic in you.
Listen.
Not magic. in
Devoid
me.
of magic.
It goes...
I really can do magic. I can do it. Can I try?
Is there something nearby I can break?
No.
Why?
Actually, this room, minus maybe a small greeting table, the kind that you might see in a hallway. It's real
Alright, I'll break that.
thin and against the wall. It's broken. Okay. The dwarf comes rushing in. What's happening?
I
Oh
tripped.
no! What?
I tripped.
Isn't it? I've got
The
it. I
table's
just have to
broken.
put this.
Why does that have
here,
arrows in it? I don't understand.
that, there.
Listen, I
worry
have
about
arrows in my hand at all times. Don't you have the... Here's a gold. Just, you saw nothing.
And at long last.
It's
No.
no small miracle.
Gosh, Cadavers are gonna die before we.
I really appreciate that all of the good rolls have been on the right side, and because you refuse to use a toggle, this is going to display.
If
the
only
displays.
Tio had helped us start the portal before Tio left.
You could have asked. He is a man on a mission.
Right.
Tio is flying, going. I should have helped him.
Well, what if I did this?
Tio, by the way, you had to walk the griffin out,
He
and
grew up racing
maybe
sheep. He's normally
maybe
used to it.
about an hour and a half later, you're able to mount the griffin now that you've gotten to the fresh air and you're flying through the skies. Maybe about 2.5 hours later, hour 4,
think
if you
about that.
will. Now we cutscene back to Cadavers finally succeeding as the
Oh.
circle spins in a white light, and it appears like the transporter graphics on a good Star Trek from the ancient episodes. And one person is allowed to jump through the portal.
Just out of curiosity, can I see that army that Aurelia saw on the horizon at all? Can I even glimpse it?
You are on the wrong side of the mountain. If you would like
Okay.
to fly up the other way to overside, that's fine, but that may come with angelic repercussion.
I'm not going to do that.
You said one person?
Yes, the circle is very small. It is built that way quite purposely, so as to not have 700 people show up where the end point may be.
Is it a one at a time thing, or is it going to turn off?
It is one at a time thing. You recall that last time you stepped through first, and then on the other end, for a second, you thought you saw the rest of the Crimson Guard waiting for you. But then Maglin followed.
Well, come
So
on
you
after
believe
me.
it will stay on until you no longer maintain it with your Arcana.
Oh.
Well, there's no more furniture for me to break, so I need to go to a new house.
Cadavers will go through.
What?
Cadavers, you are the one maintaining the Arcana. If you were to go through now, that's that.
Oh, if you go through it, just like it just ends.
If you cast the spell, you're holding it. You're like holding the door, right? So if you go through, you close the door after you.
Aurelia, you go first.
must be last, unless
Okay.
you're just feeling like you want to open it from the other side as well. In which case, hours.
6 hours later.
No, Maglin, I know you're angry. Just let me finish this.
All right, I go through the fucking portal.
Gislin, you're next.
All right.
1 second, please. Their first sensation, Aurelia, is the smell of burning wax.
Oh.
Your eyes adjust to candlelight, walls filled with candelabras, and a large, what looks to be globe, but the traditional kind, where it is literally a map of the world, huge in the center of this very large room that you're in. Behind it, what appears to be a small robed figure, a young person, no older than yourself, full of hope and dreams, and has a wizard's book clutched in, let's see, his hand, and then walking slowly from around the other side of the globe. And the globe has got to be like a 10-foot large version of something crazy, is Imbaran.
Oh.
That's where we're going to end today's session.
Oh my god.
Okie dokie.
One more week.
To
And
reopen the portal.
this is the end game. We're in the end game now.
End game.
End game now.
End game.
I have looked into the future, and there are only one out of millions and 10 million, whatever it was, futures where this becomes nice. So
Becomes nice.
yeah, like where you guys don't die. We'll see.
Oh.
We'll see.
Like that one movie where that thing.
That one
happens.
movie.
The one with the characters.
Yeah,
The
one.
one
love that
movie
one.
was the thing. Okay,
Harry Potter
so
3.
Aurelia, you're through the portal because of Aurelia needs to go first, and everyone else is stuck in time as they wait for their turn to walk through as well.
Oh my gosh.
I would like to thank everybody for playing. It's been fun. Lots of conjecture. Lots of interestingness.
So much conjecture.
No battle? What? Who are we?
I don't know. It
And-
feels weird.
Beyond all that, hilarious little jokes, lots of misunderstandings, and you continue to baffle and boggle my mind, all of you. It's just, can't believe why are you guys the way you are? I don't know, but that's how
Neither
it is.
do we.
That's how it is. So you will find yourself at the very cusp of the very end as Imbaran himself stands before Aurelia.
And some kid with a book.
And
It's Maglin. He got de-aged.
young Maglin, as you've gone back in time.
Good, I can torture you from a youngling.
Oh
on.
my
The
god.
fuck?
It's more effective if you start at childhood.
Yes.
So you're not the kind that would go back in time and kill Hitler. You would go back in time and bully Hitler
And then
for like
pull it
years,
forward in time.
and
I
then
was the
kill him at
reason.
the end.
I was the
see,
reason.
I see. So fantastic,
Gosh.
fantastic.
Oh my
So-
god.
appreciate everybody playing. Interesting choice going into a you must do this, and the party's like, well, good luck. You can catch us up. And, well, that's what we call separating the party. That's nice.
It is what
Always
happened,
good.
isn't it?
It's exactly what happened.
Listen,
And then-
don't make deals that with God.
Do not come to me
You
after
not
you're like,
hesitate
"Well,
at
should
all."
I-"
You did not hesitate at all. You were just like, yes, I'll do it. I'll pay whatever price you want.
Yes, because he's a cleric of this god, and he knows that this will
I
be
want you-
beneficial.
I think you're pronouncing it wrong. I think it's bitch.
You
You're
are
the
the
God's bitch right now.
aroused
You're making a
bitch.
delivery.
This is
What if
literally
we're-
like
what-
Tio's like, this is his life wish. He's delivering knowledge
What
of
if Rao was
forgotten
like,
age to
I
a
want you-
library.
I
This
want
is
you
his
to fire
pinnacle.
400 kittens out of a cannon. Will you do it?
Why would he do that? Is completely
it's-
preposterous.
It's logical.
What if they're
logical.
knowledge kittens? And that's the
Exactly.
only way they get to heaven.
Look, I can't be on your. I can't comprehend chaos. So I just.
It's
Keep
not
talking.
chaotic at all. It's
But
fine.
you'd fire them one
said you
after
would do
another,
It,
not
you
all
said
at
you would do
once.
anything, but I've already found one thing that you wouldn't do. So, clearly you were lying to your god.
I wasn't talking to Bethany. I was talking
It doesn't matter.
to
You were
Rao.
talking. Yeah, right. But if
So-
Rao was like
Any situation
want you
that
to
Bethany
shoot
can come up
400
with,
kids.
Gio would not do.
out of a cannon,
Is Bethany the god of logic?
but if the god of
as far
logic
as I
asked you
know.
to,
Oh no.
would you do it?
Wait, so as much as I'm loving this conversation,
Dora, wait, what you doing? I didn't answer this, Dora.
honestly, I stopped listening like a good
When I heard
a
kittens out of
minute
a
ago.
cannon.
Yeah, kittens out of a can was about where I stopped.
No, he would not do that.
There you go.
We'll see you all
So
on Monday.
far you are.
Well, that's weird. I can't seem
Becomes
to
a
do
fallen
lighting.
Asimar
I'll
after
fix the
refusing
lighting
to
on
shoot
this
kittens
map
out
in
of
a
a
second.
cannon.
But there should be. You should have limited vision, do you?
I can
Dora?
see everything.
Hold on, I already closed it out.
I can see everything. And I can
Okay.
see her.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to have to fix the lighting. So I'm going to move you away from it. But I just wanted to give you a quick preview.
I too can see everything.
Well, that's weird and inappropriate. Go to the splash
oh my gosh.
screen and be
when
happy.
I saw all of the monsters and everything, I was like, oh no. That very brief 10-second interval of me trying to figure out where I was on the map and then realizing that I could see everything on the map. And now
They're not monsters. They're people.
I think a beholder would rather be called a monster.
People are monsters too.
Yeah.
No. No. No.
Bethany's
People
like,
are
would you
monsters.
shoot 400 kittens out of a cannon? People aren't monsters.
I was making a
She
point.
didn't say shoot them with a cannon. She said out of a cannon.
Yeah.
Which is better.
Which means
Like
you have a
a
gun
small
and they're in the cannon.
percentage.
And you have to shoot them out.
I feel like a small
So
That's
percentage
the
of those
only way to
kittens
get
would
them
probably
out of
enjoy it.
there.
Right.
Cool. Well, thank you all for watching.
Wow.
Enjoy this abrupt and sudden transition to the end of the show.